I do. I do. Whatever's in your OBS.
If you're constantly battling low energy, cravings, weight control, watching your health slip away, listen up. There's a simple daily protocol they don't want you to know about that's helping people ditch their meds and reclaim their health. Up to 88% of Americans potentially suffer from some degree of insulin resistance. The Feel Great protocol is a simple two-step daily system designed to help your body work with you, not against you. Step 1. Unimate, a powerful yerba mate extract clinically shown to boost mood, increase mental clarity, and support fat burning. Step 2. A patented fiber matrix called Balance. Taken before meals, it helps regulate blood sugar, curb cravings, and support healthy insulin response. That's it. No crazy diets, no meds, just science-backed support your body actually understands. Feel Great is perfect for you if you have low energy, weight control, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, poor sleep, diabetes, snacking, sugar cravings, gut health, systemic inflammation. This isn't a trend, it's a transformation. Start today to reclaim your health with the Feel Great protocol.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Table of Titans. It is Thursday again, and we're glad that you're here for the sound of inevitability. It's quite crazy, some of the stuff that we've seen in. It seems like this programming for this said matrix isn't holding true too much, and we're starting to see fall through the cracks as they try to hold on to the narrative that we're all watching with both hands. And we've got new arrests that we're going to be talking about here, plus a whole bunch of changes going over in the economy. But we got lots to cover. We got aliens in there too. It's getting really crazy as this matrix world starts to break apart and the normies start to see what reality actually is, except for the Karens. There's not much we could do from them. But we're running one man short, Rdoc down. He is going to the doctors tomorrow to take care of that cough. But I do got Space Shot and Tron with me, guys. So smash the thumbs up. Let's get started here. What is going on, Tron, my friend?
What's up, guys? What an amazing week. We do have aliens, and I'll tell you what, now that we have aliens coming out, disclosure, and this is coming from Secretary of War, so as we're approaching Iran, and again, all this hoopla about, oh no, World War III, guys, remember, Venezuela, clean and swift, Iran, the first time, clean and swift, and this is the moment of execution. So much happening. We got grandma still missing in Arizona, aliens on the horizon, Macron saying free speech is garbage, and also Gorka coming out from the past 6 years into the future. The simulation is breaking, and again, welcome to the PSYOP, welcome to the precipice. This is boom time, baby. Let's go. Hit that thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, and let's go.
And just remember, it's not my truth, it's not your truth, but you will get the truth, right, Space Shot?
The whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God. How is it going out there, my fellow world patriots? I am super psyched. I'm loving this, dude. Who would have thought that they would have done what they did on a birthday of all times? So we're going to see how this stuff plays out, but better late than never on that guy getting busted, which I know we're going to get into, so I don't want to talk too much about it, but everybody knows what I'm talking about. So lots of stuff to go through. Rdoc got his appointment tomorrow morning, so we do wish him well, of course. And we always want to thank the mods here who help myself, these guys, and many others out there. So very selfless help out there. And of course, we're always running a simulcast between myself, Tron, and Hulkinator here, and also Country over at Liberty Based News, running 24/7 News, formerly the Patriot News crew. Dude, I'm totally psyched on it, dude. I'm energized.
We just go there. We could talk all about whatever you guys want to know. So if you want to read a little bit, just talk about it. We're gonna rip the Band-Aid off of this and kind of go into a little bit of him. So if you want to read some of this?
Oh, I would. Let me put on my spectacles here. Actually, they're just blue, whatever. But breaking, Prince Andrew arrested. Reports today confirm that Prince Andrew, and he's not a prince anymore, so it's just Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, has been arrested in the UK on suspicion of misconduct in public office. The arrest is reportedly connected to his role as a former trade envoy and his past associations with Jeffrey Epstein. At this stage, the reported offense relates to public offense office conduct. Not a new sexual charge, but investigations are ongoing. For years, many questioned whether accountability would ever reach the highest levels of power. Today sends a clear message. No title, no privilege, no royal connection should place anyone above the law. Even King Charles III has reportedly stated that the law must take its course. Accountability matters, transparency matters. The public deserves the truth, no matter who's involved, even on their birthday. Did I get that right, Hulk?
Their 66th birthday, and it is also coming out that they denied him to be turn himself in and opted for the 6 police cars to go over to his residence and pick his ass up and stick him in a car, take him to jail.
L to the yeah, dude. I'm loving that. I mean, it's kind of like reminiscent of what they did with Trump and his crew. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we're going to raid you. We're going to do this, and we're not going to make it pretty on you. So that definitely sends a message for sure. And that reporting is correct because they asked Charles at a couple functions. He's like, yes, this needs to do its investigation, needs to go forward. And, you know, from what I was reading earlier and a little bit in this post here as well, allegedly it's not about the Epstein sex stuff. It's more about that he was, you know, basically giving trade secrets to Epstein. You know, he used business and he knew things. And, oh my God, it's almost like he was tipping off people that had access to the stock market and things along of those natures. So, yeah, you know, whatever they get him on, you know, something.
Yeah, just like the King Charles I or whatever, the one about 1700. So about 400 years ago, another one of the royals did the same thing, and they killed him for treason. They hung his ass. I'm just saying. I'm just giving out some ideas the way they've done it in the past. Let's go back and do a little memorial about things we've heard from this said person itself, and we're going to start right here.
That you're at home on the 10th of March. Yeah. She was very specific about that night. Mm-hmm. She described dancing with you and you profusely sweating, and that she went on to have bath, possibly.
There's a slight problem with the sweating because I have a peculiar medical condition, which is that I don't sweat, or I didn't sweat at the time, and that was yes, I didn't sweat at the time because I had suffered what I would describe as an overdose of adrenaline in the Falklands War when I was shot at, and I simply it was almost impossible for me to sweat, and it's only because I have done a number of things in the recent past that I'm starting to be able to.
That you're at home on the 10th.
Hey, I wonder if he's got an egg-shaped penis too, like Epstein. I'm just wondering. I mean, since we're already here and ripping the Band-Aid off of things, we might as well just ask the right questions.
I mean, probably more reptilian at this point, I would think. I mean, and you guys got to remember, this comes a week before Hillary and Bill Clinton come up with their deposition, and Prince Andrew in the Q drops with Virginia Roberts. And remember, I believe she passed away from suicide after getting hit by a bus and whatnot. And then we have Ghislaine Maxwell in jail as well. So we're watching, again, news unlocking the map. And there's no coincidence that this happens on his 66th birthday, alongside of the fact that, you know, the British Parliament are, again, in the crosshairs with their kind of thing going on over there. And most importantly, remember that now that this is happening, everyone is out in the open. Everyone's in the spotlight, behind the crosshairs and whatnot. So again, is this the first arrest that will blah, blah, blah? I'm not sure. That was more like a Maxwell. But now we're seeing the protected start to become unprotected. And this is, again, perfect timing. Epstein files are out and documents case and whatnot. So this is looking good on an international scale. And look at that photograph. Holy cow, bro.
He's not sweating anymore.
Yeah, that's rough.
A little sketchy. Well, and you see how he parsed his words there too? Oh, you know, that particular time I didn't sweat. And, you know, we started seeing all sorts of video, you know, pictures and images come. I dropped you guys one. I think he's next to his daughter. But, yeah, protrusive, you know, sweating like crazy. And so, liar, liar, pants on fire, love it. Dude,
There's a lot more. Here, might as well go through this.
Shell shocked right there, dude. All right, World War II, the Eastern Front. Since Andrew lost his royal title, so why are you calling him Prince, buddy? And the media has been referring to him as Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. I'm going to do it like AOC does. His actual surname. I thought I would write a piece about the German ancestry of the royal family. This is actually really good.
Oh, yeah. Nazis and Germans and stuff? Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
remember that? Okay, go ahead.
I wish there was like a certain letter of the alphabet who kind of pushed us down this line, I don't know, 7 years ago or so and prepared us for this very moment. But anyways, Queen Elizabeth II and her husband, Prince Philip, both had German or German ancestry. Elizabeth belonged to the German house of Saxe-Coburg and Gotha. Gotha, huh? Goth? Her German line came to Britain in 1840 when Prince Albert of Saxe-Coburg and Gotha married Queen Victoria, bringing that German dynasty into the British royal family. During World War I in 1917, King George V changed the family name to Windsor because of strong anti-German feeling in Britain. Prince Philip also had German ancestry through the Battenberg family, later renamed Mountbatten. His mother was born a princess of Battenberg, a German noble house that had settled in Britain in the 19th century. So the British royal family is actually German on both sides. What the hell?
Yeah, I learned that from Rdoc a long time ago. I'm going to drop this out there for everybody that wants to go follow some of the history and stuff, because I find this stuff extremely interesting, as long as we're stacking up where this family came from.
You know,
how's locals taking it?
It's not really fair, Hulk. I mean, it's only been just under 200 years. You know, they've been there for a while, and they probably have a right to that throne. I mean, that is just it's horse crap, dude. Like, they've been there since 1840, and they're the royal bloodline. You must show them utmost respect, and we can see that they're a bunch of friggin' degenerates, essentially. And on your comment earlier, it seems like all of these predators all have some sort of weird medical issue with their genitals. Egg-shaped penis, Harvey, whatever has something weird shaped or whatever. You'd figured that would be like the last thing they would want to do is entertain sex, you know?
Exactly. And then we'll, throw a couple of these out right here, because this is Trump in February 2015.
You raised the question of Jeffrey Epstein in your remarks about in the Q&A.
Well, I think he's got a problem. I mean,
what do you think the problem will be?
I don't know, but that island was really a cesspool. There's no question about it. Just ask Prince Andrew. He'll tell you about it.
Calling him out, Tron?
A little future proofs past, guys. Boss as the predictor. And remember, there's that video of Boss calling out Pizzagate way before any of that was going, in the news. So absolutely fascinating how, again, the crystal ball, the Alamo, always comes true. The great predictor, DJT, through the looking glass, baby.
What was the thing? Oh, you had already read this earlier, but that was the official statement from the brother over there, who's coming to, I think, a White House next month, if I remember right. So that should be an interesting conversation.
Yeah, he's coming.
What else do we want to get? I did want to throw this in here. Prince Andrew's ex-girlfriend, Lady Victoria Hervey. I think I said that right. Here, we'll throw this in here.
I want this guy to stay alive.
But what is the
dying
motive
in this case?
What is the motive of the person who, in your view, falsified this photograph?
Oh, well, they were taking down the royal family, weren't they?
Well, who were?
Maybe Israel. Who knows?
Israel? Goodness me, come on. What do you mean, who knows? I mean, you're putting forward all these photographs. You've got no...
This is real.
No, it's not. This is all false.
Okay, all right.
This
well, maybe go back to bed.
Why would Israel be taking down the British royal family?
Tell me that.
Well, you tell us. You're the one who
say that.
This is a fact.
You raised it, that Israel is behind...
Calm down on that. Look, just
tell me to
chill.
calm down.
So
You're the person...
Why would Israel be trying to concoct a picture to shame the royal family?
I don't know, because...
But you just said it.
I'm not talking about those agencies right now. I made that clear. What I have...
You just said it was Israel.
Without talking about that, this is hard
we want
facts.
to talk about that. What is the genesis of your conspiracy
Tom,
theory?
just stop. This isn't a conspiracy. These people do not fit in that space. I've measured it. They do not physically fit. This guy on the left is 5'8", 5'9" at highest with his hair, and he's higher up in the doorframe than Andrew is.
But in answer to Tom's question,
it doesn't add up.
Who had the motivation to do this?
Who is behind Jeffrey Epstein? Like, who is that? We don't know exactly who that is. Who put Jeffrey up to this? Who told him to set Prince Andrew up?
Well, nobody said, because there were...
Comments from anybody? I just find this intriguing.
Wow, I mean, what a solid ex-girlfriend, huh? I mean, that's his ex-girlfriend claiming that he was set up. Maybe, you know, they paid her or whatever, but she seemed like pretty emotionally invested into that conversation there, like as if maybe something she did may have come to light or whatever. But yeah, she was throwing around Israel. That was pretty interesting. Yeah, don't know what's in her mind, but very interesting.
Yeah, and also I want to throw this out there as a British royal advisor confirms with James O'Keefe. The journalist hidden on camera that Prince Andrew was effing underage girls. You remember all this video?
He was in the Navy. He was 250 days.
Remember when they were all drunk talking about this crap?
I was really pissed because he lied to me about Epstein. And then I did a big thing in the Daily Mail saying that I believed Andrew. And then I found out he was lying. I was so pissed. No, he was underage girls. That's not cool.
John Bryan has been...
So that's him. So just as a kind of reminder, some of the people that already came out against them, but obviously he's arrested for financial crimes of some sort. So,
oops. And it's pretty interesting too, right? It's like, oh well, we see you have pictures of this, and you know maybe they're in the same boat as far as no proof, but maybe they can prove that you know Andrew told Epstein that we're going to do a trade deal on this, and then they did that or whatever. You know, maybe they have proof on set, but. As long as this scumbag goes down and goes to jail for something, that would be awesome.
See, that's just, skeptical mom says all these people thought they were good until Trump won again. Exactly. I agree with that one there. Here, go ahead and read this one for everybody too. I find this interesting.
All right. New Epstein docs dropped via WSJ 2016 DOJ memo reveals Jean-Luc Brunel had photos of Jeffrey Epstein with potentially underage girls. Brunel wanted immunity to flip, but feared self-incrimination. A friend told him to delete the pics. He refused to hand them over to victims' lawyers. This guy was Epstein's main model recruiter supplier. He, quote, cooperated briefly, then went dark after Epstein allegedly got wind and $3 million hush money floated. Brunel ends up suicided in a French jail in 2022. Same hanging method as Epstein. Send a message, won't it?
Yeah, exactly. Just to throw out that they've played this game before, and if this guy was going to break ranks, they could reach out and touch you, no matter where you're at. And just as a quick reminder, can you read that for everybody?
Barack and Michelle Michael Obama's former already, Martha's Vineyard hideaway sells to Victoria's Secret, to Victoria's Secret billionaire Lex Wexner for $37 million. Wait, why did I not ever see this dude? This is last year?
Yeah, you did. I pointed it out last time when it came back around. I'm just kind of bringing it together because we got him in here too, doing some testimonies and some interesting things said to him from the lawyers.
Was that like directly after the chef went dead in the pool or the ocean or whatever it was?
Pretty close, huh?
Right.
Did it come with a chef?
Yeah, I mean, whether you wanted one dead or alive, it came with one.
Yeah, I mean, never mind the fact that the Epstein's chef was the one that started the cannibal hamburger store.
Oh my God.
What they were making, remember they were talking about making the jerky? Epstein needs jerky and keep it in the freezer. Not sure why you would need to freeze jerky. Just saying.
Dude, see how much time is flying nowadays? Like, I thought that was like a year ago that the friggin' chef died. That was like 23. August of 23. Yeah. And they sold that house in 25. Here it is 26. Wow.
So he was about to get immunity deal and spilled the beans on the operation. The hush money negotiations began. The first person Epstein turned to for advice was Kathy Rumler, because this guy was leaking info. a person that Epstein turned to advise a key member of Obama's inner circle, and at the end of Burnell never testified. So, yeah, Rumler's like a key player with Epstein all through the Obama administration. If anybody's keeping score over there, they know each other.
You got anything on her today?
Nothing more than this. What else did you have? Other than she stepped down from whatever it was.
Yeah. That was it. So she resigned basically the other day.
That was like a week ago.
Due to that one, yeah. But I mean, no, it was this week, or I believe I covered it on Monday. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I picked it up last week. What else do we got for you guys to point? Oh yeah. So, did you guys see any of this stuff?
Yeah.
Can a reporter please swear?
So there's some interesting things. This is just him doing the deposition. Evidently, they went to him. So this is not in Congress. They went to his location to do this particular testimony itself. Couple of key points you want to pay attention to.
I think it was his experience at an industrial level, like working for a big company like Bear Stearns, and then he had done personal work for the Rothschild family in France.
Personal wealth management, essentially?
I don't know.
Okay. We've seen some reports that he would present himself as a bounty hunter, that he would find people's missing money. Do you recall him saying anything like that?
No. Well, specifically, I talked to Ellie de Rothschild, and so I mentioned that earlier. So he represented their whole family. So there had been a whole bunch of people. I mean, most of them I never would have met, but I knew Ellie. I never met people, but there were people that called me that either insinuated or said they knew Jeffrey through a financial relationship. And so, I mean, they could have been actors, but in the time, a guy calls me up. I'll give you an example. It's just because I want you to understand this, because it's so confusing to me.
Looking at the lawyer.
He would say, like, I'm providing financial advice to the founders of Google. I'm providing financial advice to Jeff Bezos. I'm providing financial advice for the chief technologist at Google. And wow, I'm in good company, because these are really smart guys with a lot of money. And you have to put yourself in the mindset of if my attorney said, he was qualified to argue in front of the Supreme Court, I'd believe him. I didn't say to call the Supreme Court and say, tell me, is he really an attorney, or did he do this?
So did mention about the Rothschilds and managed their entire family, plus a whole bunch of other people like Sergey Brin and some of those other guys, just as long as we're all keeping score out there.
Well, I got a question, Hulk, and I wonder if they ever asked him. Hey, sexy Lexi here. Yeah, what happened with that whole brownstone? Like, why did you give that to Epstein? Did they ever get into that?
It said he was a con man, is what it came down to. We're going to throw this out right here really quick.
Hilarious.
So he's given long explanations, and it's what the lawyer says to him.
It was just regularly done.
So handler or lawyer, I'll effing kill you if you answer another question with more than 5 words, okay? You guys saw this, right, Tron?
Yeah, that was this is not like Better Call Saul. I mean, I love watching these characters absolute in panic. And again, this goes back to WikiLeaks, HRC also having connections to Linda Rothschild. This is all lining up for a perfect scenario, and I can't wait for the end of the month once the Clintons get in there. But man, look at that lawyer, dude. I mean, talk about handlers, talk about blackmail, talk about be careful what you say. And again, on a hot mic, like everything's out in the open. This is just fantastic for us to kind of look into.
There's another one of those little moments right here. Oh, yeah.
Your chief of staff. For the record, who is that?
His name is Bruce Saul, and I met him through an acquaintance.
Answer the question.
Okay.
It's going to help if you answer the question that he asks.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
We'll all get out of here a lot faster.
But as I look back at it, it was part of the con. So I never met Meyerwald.
Can I have 1 second? Because I think it will move this thing along a little faster. Go off telling stories, okay? Just answer the question.
Okay. I think I'm giving a long answer, but to understand in context, because if I just say yes or no, you won't understand it. And I really want this whole group to understand it. And I never would have guessed I was being conned.
There it is.
Never, ever. The deceit was so subtle. Yes, I know.
Answer the question.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sure we all appreciate the stories. We're just trying to answer the questions they actually want to be answered.
Okay. That's very helpful. Thank you.
I hope it is. That's kind of a puny example, but I wouldn't have had the idea. But then all the things were inventoried. That wasn't work for me or Jeffrey. It was just regularly done.
Oh, there's the same thing again. So yeah, quit telling stories and I'll kill you myself if you keep giving the wrong answers. Comments?
Who's the whole group of people that he really wants to make sure understands that? Is it just a couple of lawyers from the DOJ? But he's like, I want to make sure.
No, these are congressional testimony. You got the congressman in here. You got Crockett in here.
And they're saying it too, right? They're just like, yeah, we want to hear the answers. Like, stop shushing him. We want to hear all the stories because that's why lawyers are there, to shut people up from doing exactly what he's doing. But then again, you're right. Like, does an attorney talk like that to his very rich billionaire client? Like, I'll kill you? That's weird. I mean, it's all, ha-ha.
He's chuckling there a little bit, so... I think he says it's funny over there. Here, just a little bit of this, because you can hear Crockett in here.
Did you ever spend time with Epstein and Donald Trump?
Together?
Yes.
I want to answer this question accurately. I would go to some of the Victoria's Secret fashion shows because it's very important to the brand. At some of the fashion shows, Jeffrey was there and some Trump was there. And I remembered because Trump would always introduce himself to me. And I always thought it was kind of odd that he was at the fashion show because he had nothing to do with fashion. So the coincidence of them being together at an event, it could have been that, but I have no specific recollection. They never had a social or like a drink or a cup of coffee, something, that would put them together.
Okay, so just to clarify, because I want to make sure we're clear on the record, you're saying that you can recall instances potentially where Epstein and Trump were together and you were in their presence, or just a random scenario where Epstein may be there, Trump may be there separately, and then you would be there?
It would be at random. That would be accurate.
That would be at random. That's as far as I wanted to get into. But that's Crockett over there asking questions, who's trying to hold on to her congressional seat. We'll get to that one a little bit later, because that's another whole debacle in itself. So just little key pieces we wanted to throw out. Comments from anybody?
Good. I'm good on this one so far. But yeah, I've been wanting to hear about this guy for a long time.
So Lex Wexner basically has a written statement after all the testimony came out. It says Wexner was naive and duped by Epstein and calls him a con man and insists he cut ties nearly 2 decades ago and had no knowledge of Epstein's criminal conduct.
Oh.
Okay, that's what he basically said. Wrapped it up in a nice bow for everybody. As long as we're keeping score out there. This is them after the testimony. These are the people who gave testimony there. I think that's Ted Lieu and the rest of these guys over here.
They spent a lot of time together. Mr. Wexner admitted that he traveled to both Epstein's island as well as his other properties. Mr. Wexner also admitted that Jeffrey Epstein had access to a lot of Mr. Wexner's wealth. And when asked even simple questions, even as it relates to Mr. Epstein being the co-president of the foundation that established the area that we're in today, Mr. Wexner had little to say. In fact, it's clear that Mr. Wexner is trying to downplay how close Jeffrey Epstein and Mr.
We agree with him. Yeah, they're all trying to downplay it here at this point. Just as a heads up over there. We need to also bring in this guy, Mr. Space Shot. Do you want to make any...
The thing about Jimmy Savile...
Any quick comments about him really quick, as the other friends of the party are involved in this?
Yeah, I mean, by all accounts, he was friends, I believe, with the current king, right? And there were stories that this guy would dance around the friggin' morgue with dead bodies and perhaps even have sex with dead bodies. There's definitely a video of him when he was a TV show host, and you can see the girl right in front of him literally jump up like, oh, as he grabbed her rear end or whatever he did live on television. She may have been, I don't know, 13 to 15, 16. I mean, just look at the guy. Really, all you need to do is look at the guy and be like, yeah, maybe a problem with this dude.
Just a little bit. Yeah, let's go to the tape. Hold on, guys.
The thing about Jimmy Savile, he was invited into the inner core of the British royal family by a man called Lord Mountbatten. Lord Mountbatten was a known paedophile. He was infamous for it, where he becomes a close friend of Prince Philip and a close friend of Prince Charles, now King Charles. People knew, but he was never collared, because what he was doing, and this has not come out, he was a procurer of children for the rich and famous, for pedophilia and sacrifice, by the way. Anyone that threatens to exposure, well, they better watch their back as well, because the same people are watching his back. And why they're doing the same sacrificial rituals now with these rich and famous billionaires as they were doing back then in Babylon and so on. You know, when they talk about the ancients sacrificing young virgins to the gods, that was children. What they're doing is systematically triggering terror in the sacrificial victim. The greater the terror they can elicit, the greater the offering to the gods. They then drink the blood of the sacrifice, because the chemical expression of that terror releases an adrenaline into the blood, which to them is like a drug. It's like a high. When they drink the blood, they go bloody wild often. And this is where adrenochrome comes from.
The truth. So just put all that together in one little video for everybody out there.
Even yeah, that dude, he was ahead of his time too. And he went on that Wogan show, and I think back then he said thought he was Jesus Christ, and people laughed at him and whatnot. But he came back on, and a lot of these conspiracies, kind of like us, right? A lot of these conspiracy theories came to fruition, unfortunately, on some of them, of course.
Yeah, they sure did. Also, because we got Clinton and them in here, and I just wanted to go over this comment down here he made a few years ago, probably 8 or 9 years ago. It says, because Bill Clinton wanted to get votes for those people, he's talking illegal immigrants, he sold them the idea that instead of renting a house, he said, you guys in these local communities don't have to be, who haven't been able to afford a house before, I'm going to show you the way. I'm going to give you a way, because I'm sure I'll get your vote. So he's talking about basically fleecing the illegal immigrants into funding the Democratic Party, and then in exchange for votes. And he was talking about that back in, I think this is freaking in 2012, 2013, something like that. So
yeah, interesting. And I don't know how much or not you want to touch on it, but like this interview, for obviously known reasons, has gone kind of viral, besides his connection with Bannon, right? And so the idea is like, oh, we're trying to, revamp his image here. So some people are saying, well, Bannon's a good guy and he's actually working, with the white hats or whatever. But then other people are saying, well, look at the emails between him and him. They were definitely setting up Trump. But then some people are saying, and I think rightfully so, well, wait, they're trying to revamp his image. And you remember I think we played it a week ago or so. It's like, are you Satan? And he's like, you're effed up. Like, and so that really doesn't make sense, that part of it, to like, if you're helping him rebrand his image, you're recording on videotape, you telling everybody that this dude is effed up, and oh, by the way, are you the devil? So I'm telling you like this, like I have no idea, right? Like about Bannon, he could be syphilis lip, pedophile, baby eater for all I know, or he could be, I just don't know at this point, I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. It doesn't look good with the amount of influence that Bannon had, obviously, in the first Trump administration, who he said he distanced himself from there at that time, and Bannon went into some issues, but we really haven't heard him talk too much about the greasy guy in the jacket with the hair.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just don't know. Tron, you got any position or a comment on that one? I'd be interested to hear what you say.
No, Steve Bannon is a traitor. He's sloppy, and he was never trusted in the beginning. And this whole story, how the war room's like, yeah, he's a secret undercover. No, he's not. I've been calling Steve Bannon a sloppy son of a bitch since the beginning. I never trusted him. And now you got to kind of look, 40,000 foot and look at all his connections, look at the network. I mean, Jack Prosobic, no good. I mean, that guy was in the drops too, trying to usurp Q. These guys never came into this movement for any kind of America First agenda at all. They were completely counter-messaging boss, which they continue to do in 2026, and they think this Epstein thing is going to go just under the rug. And this is, again, guys, at this point where we just got to stand up and call it for what it is. Boss completely distanced himself from Steve Bannon, and then right before this Bannon stuff comes out, he puts out a truth about, look at these two great guys, and it shows like Navarro and Bannon together. So again, there's a reason why Boss distances himself from these people, and it proves that the deep state was entrenched in our cabinet, in our government, and now 2026 is completely different. This is, eyes wide shut, eyes wide open. We see things for what they are, and then, this Epstein thing is an absolute blessing. I mean, first we think it's trafficking children, which is our utmost concern, and then all of a sudden blows up to this entire network that connects everyone to it. So this is absolutely fascinating times. Everyone's connected to it, and just because your name's in there doesn't mean you're necessarily a criminal. But again, read the proof. And there it is. Good luck with this one. During the 2008 season 1 finale of Celebrity Apprentice, Howard Lutnick bid $100,000 for dinner with Prince Andrew's wife, Sarah Ferguson, the Duchess of York, during a charity auction hosted by Donald Trump. Howard Lutnick, Sarah Ferguson, and Prince Andrew were all on Epstein's island.
As long as we're keeping score. I just wanted to.
And again, instinct, like Lutnick, again, you want to like these people because they're on Boss's cabinet, but again, you just feel it. Yeah, something's there. You just feel it. You don't laugh during
throw that one in there.
Interesting, Howard Lutnick's sister was a founding citizen of the Terramar Project, the nonprofit run by Ghislaine Maxwell. I know what Google tells me that Terramar was, but what was the Terramar Project really? And that goes down underneath, guys, the submarine. I mean, submarine logs, talk about flight logs. Here's the submarine underground. And they did. What was the whole purpose of this? To like climate change the oceans?
Well, this is how she got her submarine certification type of thing. Because remember, she was better than a nurse. What do they call it? Physician assistant level of medical knowledge. She also could fly helicopters. She was one of the top 2 or 3 people in the entire world for underwater drone driving. The Terramar Project developed drones and also had one of the first patents on an underwater drone killing machine. This was just as we're keeping score.
Drone killing machine. Damn. Yeah. I mean, it's a woman of all trades. And then we go back to like, who was the real person? Was she the real, or was Epstein the real? Or maybe they were, co-pilots.
All of the wives.
One doesn't have to lead the other for sure, but it's crazy. And dude, I don't know if you want, maybe if you want to play it or not, but that thing down the bottom, that's why I'm thinking maybe he brought Lutnick in closer, because he's talking about Trump talking about 9/11.
Which one are you talking about?
Just scroll down on the screen right
now. The money grabber? Is that what you're talking about?
No, it was on that MJ True. What happened? There we go.
Sorry, the one I had open.
Yep, now just go down right there.
This is just him talking about because Lutnick missed 9/11 because he went to go take his kids to school because his wife told him, and Trump's making a joke, kind of a little bit of a joke, and he's smiling about it because he missed it.
I don't know if you guys ever watched. There's a episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm where Larry David, who's the co-creator of Seinfeld, connected to Castle Rock and Rob Reiner and all these people, joke about getting phone calls on 9/11, like a terrorist attack. And like, who do you tell? Like, you're the one that got the call. You're not supposed to be in this place. And then now you're not supposed to tell anyone. And that's the humor behind it. But I'm telling you right now, the fact that this 9/11 thing's coming back up is very interesting.
They said he was supposed to be the first day of school. If that's the story, it's just a quick tweet that I read. Somebody said he had to pick up or drop his kid off because it was the first day of school, and people checked and said the school had started like a week before. But everybody in Cantor Fitzgerald, I think it was, died, including his brother, except for Howard Lutnick.
Chosen one? Make your own decision on that one. What else do we got? Oh, yeah. When Epstein was asking Bannon about the emails, says, Epstein, did you ask him for Hillary's emails? And Bannon's response, the NSA has them. So that was back in February 2018 when we were all chasing that whole WikiLeaks and all the emails and Pizzagate and all that kind of crap that ended up being all over the place. So I thought that was interesting. But how's she doing lately? Let's check in with good old Hillary. Watch out for the cackle.
We haven't gotten to the more perfect union, and we fought a civil war over part of it. And people have been protesting, for hundreds.
Wait, did she just say we need to start a civil war?
More perfect union. And we fought a civil war over part of it. And people have been protesting, for hundreds of years that, things were not as they should be given our ideals and how we should be moving toward them. So I think that's what makes us so special as a country. And the idea that you could turn the clock back and try to recreate a world that never was, dominated by, let's say it, white men of a certain persuasion, a certain religion, a certain point of view, a certain ideology, is just doing such damage to what we should be aiming for. And we were on the path toward that. I mean, imperfectly, lots of, bumps along the way, but I agree with you. We were on the right trajectory.
Yeah, the right trajectory for Satanism and eating kids and all those sort of things. And you white Christian nationalists are bad for America. Yeah, depending on what side of the fence you're looking at.
Dude, before you go, why is her eyes all of a sudden above her eyes look like Nancy Pelosi? I've noticed this all the time in Nancy Pelosi. And I'm not talking about her eyebrow or her eyelid. I'm talking about that crease above that. I've never seen that in her before. And I've never really
getting old.
Like glamour shots, yeah.
Yeah, it's like in between. It's like in between. It's like whatever that
I bet
is.
you could find,
right?
I bet you could find Epstein in there somewhere.
Right? And then her neck's starting to look like Kamala Harris's too, and she just looks run down right there. Bad.
Turkey neck, gobble gobble. Well, yeah, they just all got back from the EU, and she didn't do very well. They smashed her down a couple of times over there. You just hate Trump.
And you guys notice the fear, like there's no more fear. It almost feels like people are more relaxed around her. They don't feel like they're going to get a blow dart to the neck at a stoplight. So this is great to watch her out there on her humiliation tour. We saw Barack Hussein Obama also out there talking about aliens and whatnot. So this is, again, putting the deep state out there in front of everyone to consume and get ready for the big D5.
Yeah, big D5. What else do we want to get into? Just as a note, I'm not going to go into too much detail here, but some of the files are saying that Israel was directly responsible for maintaining the security at Epstein apartment for years, videos and all those sort of things. So just interesting things people are checking off and who was actually running security and those sort of things. So just wanted to point some of those things out.
No shit. I mean,
no shit.
If I had to give you 10 guesses, Hulk, you would have been in the top 3. I'm pretty sure it would have been your top 1 guess. Like, hey, there's one country out there that's doing protection on Epstein's place, possibly stealing up all the blackmail information. What country would you venture to guess that might be?
Russia? Wait, China. That's what the news said.
Don't look here. Don't look there.
It's Iran now. It's Iran, right? We're doing Iran. We'll get to that.
Iran.
Here, you can read that for everybody.
Liking this, New Mexico lawmakers unanimously approved $2.5 million Truth Commission with subpoena power, to probe trafficking and sexual assault at Epstein's Zorro Ranch. Starts tomorrow, and testimony can lead to prosecutions. 2019 email alleges Epstein and Maxwell buried 2 foreign girls nearby land commissioner requested radar and cadaver dogs, and it's been ignored for 7 years. Finally, some movement. Better late than never. Awesome. Yeah, need to find out.
Let's talk about the people who bought the ranch. Here, ran by this. Crazy.
So remember the guy running for Texas controller who bought Jeff's ranch? Yeah, it got worse. Shout out to Bethany Blankley at the Center Square for digging deeper. Now, this wasn't just Don Huffines buying a property. His wife, Mary Catherine, is listed as trustee, and his son, Colin, is the LLC manager. And that LLC created 1 month before the purchase, a brand new shell company in a state that allows anonymous ownership, built specifically to buy the property victims called the House on the Hill. And then they renamed it, changed Zorro Ranch to Rancho de San Rafael, changed the address from 49 Zorro Ranch Road to 49 Rancho San Rafael Road. New LLC, new name, new address. Almost like they didn't want anyone to know. And it worked until reporters at the Santa Fe New Mexican found it through public records. His campaign said the auction proceeds benefited his victims, but Epstein's own estate attorney said the money went to estate administration, including payment of creditors. One of those sounds noble. The other sounds like paying Epstein's bills. Somebody's lying. The property was valued at $21 million. The Huffines family got it knocked down to $13 million. A $7 million tax reduction using the property's notoriety as their argument. The man wants to be Texas's chief financial officer, and his big move is haggling down the tax bill on a sex trafficking ranch. And here's the part that should make everyone uncomfortable. The ranch has never been searched as part of a criminal investigation. Not under Jeff and not under Huffines. Now remember, the FBI raided all of Jeff's other properties, but never touched Zorro Ranch. Right now, the New Mexico's land commissioner is calling for ground penetration radar and cadaver dogs on adjacent land. State lawmakers are pushing for a truth commission, and Huffines won't answer questions about why he bought it, won't return reporters' calls. Now, I'm not accusing anyone of anything. I'm just asking questions. If you're a Christian conservative businessman who made a totally innocent real estate purchase, why are you hiding it behind a shell company, renaming the property, changing the address, and going silent while millions of files are dropping? What exactly is the upside of secrecy here? Even Greg Abbott's campaign consultant called it a sleazeball secret land deal and asked what kind of person thinks this is a good investment. Huffines is campaigning on accountability and conservative Christian values. He owns the House on the Hill. He won't talk about it. Early voting starts next week for the primaries.
Just an FYI there. Oh, God, it gets crazy. And where is Podesta? I don't know. He's been quiet.
They're mad scientists, huh? And
Guys,
let me. Go ahead.
Real quick, he owns a biotech company that uses cardiac cells from baby hearts under 30 days year old for tissue cell sourcing. So this guy's even into that kind of stuff too.
This guy, Don Huffines.
Yeah.
Don Huffines.
Yeah.
Another weirdo to take his place. And thank you to Hulk. And let's see if the folks out there happen to notice. Just if you do notice any difference, just give us a thumbs up. But I had my streams running on 720 as Hulk was working me through doing some different things here on Rumble, and noticed I was on 720p 30 frames per second. So I'm at 1080p. It should be clearer, and 60 frames per second. So thumbs up if you notice anything, put a 0 if it's not noticing anything. But thank you, Hulk.
It should be a hell of a lot better out there, chat. Yeah. Yeah. We'll see. You don't have any errors or anything, right?
Running good, baby. Running good. 5112 kilobytes a second, 60 frames per second. No errors. Boom.
All right, we'll keep rolling here. What else do we got to show you over here? Okay, I want to revisit this Todd Blanche thing over here because I think it's important to listen to, because somebody said, go listen to this part of this thing, because everybody remembers the thing that I played 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago talking about they don't see much. We're not doing anything. I don't know what you're talking about. Sleight of hand. It's over. Stick it in the grave.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Attorney General. You said in your remarks that you've withheld some documents because of ongoing investigations. I've done this long enough to know you can't comment on ongoing investigations, but can you say a little bit more? Because as you know, the department has been criticized for not bringing charges against more people. Are there still open investigations related to Jeffrey Epstein?
So what I was laying out in my comments is the statutory, what the statute talks about what we can withhold and the reasons we can withhold it. I wasn't pointing to any particular, I wasn't trying to be coy or otherwise suggest there's some investigation. As you all know, Jay Clayton in New York is in charge of any potential investigations, and I'm not going to comment beyond that on that. Any potential investigations, and I'm not going to comment beyond that on that.
You were referring to Clayton.
Excuse me?
You were referring to Clayton's investigation.
I wasn't referring to anything. I was just saying that Congress, in their wisdom, allowed us to withhold documents if there were ongoing criminal investigations. That's one of the 4 reasons. I wanted to make clear with respect to any national security information that we were not withholding. There's not some tranche of super secret documents about Jeffrey Epstein that we're withholding.
So the stuff he could release is out, but Clayton in the Southern District of New York over there, if there's an ongoing investigation, he said, would be handling anything like that. But as of the DOJ here at this point, no, we don't have any investigations. But you go ask the guy that might be doing it.
Exactly.
Thoughts?
Little bit of little word salad, actually. We'll see. We'll see how it all plays out. And let me thank Coyote3 gifting a subscription out to the channel. So thank you for that, brother.
Yeah, you rock out there. And this also was brought to the attention when Technofog wrote about this in the very beginning when she was sentenced to 20 years in prison. As the U.S. Attorney's Office in Southern District of New York has stated publicly, the investigation into the conduct of the defendant in this case and other possible co-conspirators still remain active about Jeffrey Epstein.
Yes.
So just to back that up.
Sounds lucrative.
Here, you might as well to read this a little bit.
Sure, and then I'm going to take a 2-minute break. I got to run up to the men's room quick. Grant Smith Ellis, quick. Hey, so, not for nothing, but I have a question. Has anyone from Congress considered compelling Walt Disney World to produce all of its record related to Club 33? If Disney facilitated VIP access to its parks while Jeffrey Epstein was a registered sex offender, the world must know.
Oh, yeah. They had their own little concierge over here for Club 33, and I need some extra tickets, and I can't mail it to you ahead of time. You have to be in the park because it's a little bit too late. You're only going to be able to have like preferential treatment on like maybe 3 or 4 rides with the tickets that you guys got. Other than that, you guys can have fun, enjoy the park, and come into Club 33 and hang out with us.
Oh, it's so slimy. And I heard this story the other day. If anybody like signs up for Disney Plus or any of these things like I did when I wanted to watch UFC, so it's connected to ESPN. Well, guess what? If I go to a Disney World or someplace that's owned by Disney and say, I don't know, I'm there and my significant other gets her face burnt off, which actually happened, and the family went to sue. They went back like 4 years. They're like, oh, you signed this Disney Plus thing here and says you can't sue Disney for anything. It's like, what? Are you kidding me? So yeah, they're a big slimeball unit too, and they don't pay taxes either, I think, right?
They do pay taxes. They have to pay taxes.
Do they now?
Florida changed their kind of laws with them, so
nice.
They have to be on the straight and narrow right now. Right. They're on the shit list out there.
I'll be AFK 2 minutes.
Okay, no problem. Tron, you want to read a little bit about this and tell me what you're thinking?
Yeah, let's go from Eric Daughtry. Susie Wiles and other top Trump team members just hosted a Capitol Hill midterm strategy session with nearly 100 power players, and the number one issue for Republicans will be economy, housing affordability, health insurance transparency data, lower drug costs, tax cuts, banning stock trading for Congress. And per Mark Halpern, pollster Tony Fabrizio recommended focusing on podcasts and social media. Trump will be running his own instincts-driven 2024 style blitz while everyone else needs to stay on message driven by data. That's the game plan. They time to win and keep the House and Senate.
So messaging is going to come out to make sure that the Trump campaign, as they go into the election cycle here very shortly, to ramp up the positive things that Trump administration has done and kind of steer away from all the weird crap they keep saying, oh, he's with Epstein, blah, blah, blah. But they never talk about any of the depth of anything else that has to deal with that, just that Trump's associated with it, which puts the View in the same area because they're all kind of freaking out right now. But Susie Wiles is going to put Trump out there like he's running for president. We're going to get more rallies. I'll try to focus on one, go to one of these last ones. Tron, are you going to finally go to a rally at least? Because it's going to be rally mode in the last time.
I know. I have to, because 2028 is coming, and I can't wait for those diamonds to be returned and have boss come in for a fourth term. But yeah, man, a rally season is fantastic. I'm excited for this. And you guys remember the last couple of weeks, it only took like 2-3 weeks, even 1 week, right before that most important election there, our last one. And we did it, man. We did it in full force, too big to rig. And now that we have illegals gone and voter rolls and Dominion and all that fun stuff, cleaning it up a little bit on that side, I think midterms we're going to be okay. And we just got to keep hitting the ground running and prove that boss is doing a great job, which he is.
Yeah, we don't have much choice other than to succeed out there. Make sure you're smashing the thumbs up. We got 49 thumbs up on my side. So that's 49 humans out of the other 300 or so that are watching. So some of them don't have thumbs. Hope you're not AI bots or anything like that. So back on the bandwagon, we're going to stay on message, and we're going to positively put out the information of what the Trump administration is doing for America. So everybody else is paying attention to, even the other side of the things, the Epstein's fake and all that. They're all starting to wake up, and people start asking questions. Tron, I don't know if you've seen this from some of your family members with the recent stuff that has come out there. Either they're doubling down, which I think is a lot less than most people think, and the other ones are like, wait, what? You were right? I mean, thoughts?
No, like that's the best idea of what's happening is, like, again, news unlocks the map. And whether it was 6 years ago or right now, this is the moment for the mass awakening of those normies to realize that there is a satanic pedo elite out there that are preying on our children for their own global dominance. And it's not working anymore. It seems like a science fiction movie. And now we need results. And the fact that they tried to throw boss under the bus with this Epstein thing, and it completely turned around, and we're going to run with this momentum into the midterms that, again, boss was right about everything. So boss has a great cabinet. We're charging, and we're not taking the bait anymore. And this is the most powerful administration this country has seen so far. And we're only just getting started. We're not even at full force yet. So can't wait to see what happens in November.
So long as there's a stopping point, let's talk about this this particular post that you went out there trolling over here. You put this out how long ago?
Yeah, that was a few days ago, and surprisingly, somehow Sebastian Gorka made it on my feed, and just for kicks, it was like 7 a.m. I just was waking up. I'm like, Q still garbage? And within 5 minutes, he says, yes, more than ever. Q is garbage. Oh, Sebastian Gorka. And yeah, he doesn't matter, but I just think it's hilarious that like 7 years ago, he dropped Q as garbage. And then a few weeks later, we got a garbage can in the White House. There it is, January 31st of 2019, out of nowhere, tweeting a Carpe Donctum meme that was removed from old Twitter. Q is garbage in that staggering boom level drop there. But how funny is that? And
space shot through this.
Yeah, there's the garbage can. And that was like a week or so. Like, that was quick, right? Space shot right after.
That was
in the window.
So that was in the window, and then he was saying it. So I'm like, wait, so is this dude like, and then I'm like, wait, he keeps calling it garbage. And then I don't know who found it, but they were like, dude, there's a freaking garbage can in the window at the White House. Are you kidding me? So it didn't have the Pepe frog, painted on it, but it was there for sure. Wow.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting there. What else do we got for you here? Stage is set. Let's see what these guys are all talking about, because we got the International Board of Peace out on there, and he's still playing music.
Yeah, that's a Scarface. Oh, wait, no, that's Gloria. Never mind.
Look, there's Susie Wilds right there. So, yeah, new Board of Peace, a whole bunch of people. We didn't get any Russia or anybody there. Some of those things that are coming out there. So there's still a couple of lagging pieces out there. Doesn't seem like the negotiations between Russia and America went off too well, because they didn't show up at the International Board of Peace. But Russia has said that they wanted access back to American markets, and we got $12 billion we want to invest. Or sorry, what did he say? 12 trillion? We got 12 trillion wants to come into America. You want to bring us? We'll see if they come out to that. So it hasn't totally come together for them, but they want access back pretty quickly. And this is their Gaza framework that they're working on, because they want to go and fund and fix Gaza and put peacekeepers there, not the UN, because we don't want the UN. So we're doing the Board of Peace, and seems like they're going to drop their own army with the people that signed on. But let's get to some of the video.
the United Nations Security Council approved the establishment of the Board of Peace chaired by President Donald Trump, a governing body dedicated to providing security, infrastructure, and homes for Gaza's people, ushering in the new dawn for Gaza. The new Palestinian Technocratic Government of Gaza, the NCAG, was elected with consent of all parties, including the Palestinian factions, Israel, and the Arab countries. Rafah border crossing with Egypt was open. The NCAG will secure the disarmament of Gaza to ensure one authority, one law, and one weapon. The United States and its partners, in coordination with the World Bank, are pledging billions of dollars to rebuild Gaza. Safe areas.
Okay, enough of the propaganda stuff. Let's get into where it actually kind of gives us a little meat and potatoes. So here's a little bit of info from the billionaires talking about who's spending money.
We plan to do this by gathering Gaza's productive assets in one unified structure. This will allow independent, professional, conflict-free management of the resources to benefit the Gazans. This will also enable expeditious planning and zoning, and not fragmented projects that do not contribute to an economic whole. The potential here is tremendous, but it has to start somewhere. The start is in Rafah, where, as you heard, that will be the first place security is deployed. The plan is 100,000 homes or 500,000 residents plus $5 billion of infrastructure. Over time, 400,000 homes for the entirety of the population with more than $30 billion of infrastructure. Let me put it in financial terms. This is not a problem of money or collateral. This is a problem of peace. The coastline alone, $50 billion of value on a conservative basis. The housing stock, more than $30 billion as rebuilt. The infrastructure, more than $30 billion. $115 billion of value. It just needs to be unlocked and financed.
So they're going for peace. Peace sells. Who's buying? That's always my one big question about that. Comments about them coming in? Because, again, in the very beginning, when Trump had said that there's not letting Israel take over this project, we're going to handle it. It came out with the International Board of Peace, and now it's a collective group that are going to tackle the issues there in Gaza.
And who is it? CB1 Gator says the border peace is a huge move. UN, NATO, and EU are done. That is huge, dude. And kind of what you were talking about. Yeah, what you were talking about as far as Russia earlier, because he said, "Yeah, I'll join, but just take that $1 billion of mine that you're holding, and that's the deposit for it." And I think maybe that might be the hiccup. But yeah, I mean, this whole area. They keep saying the Gazans too. It's like, aren't they like Palestinian? The people that's supposed to be there, maybe?
Don't be asking Rdoc questions like that as we get there. Just going through my stuff here. Here, Tron, you can read that for everybody. We're going to war.
Trump's armada for Middle East now includes 2 aircraft carrier, 12 warships, hundreds of jets, and advanced air defenses with more forces still en route. Over 150 U.S. military cargo flights have delivered weapons to the Middle East, and in the last 24 hours alone, 50 more fighter jets headed to the region.
So hopefully it's swift and quick.
What's the reason this time? Because we took the nuclear area out last time, Top Gun style. What's this reason?
They don't want to make a deal. They still want to proliferate their nuclear arms deal. They still want to play bad guy in the Middle East out there. And we know that the Republican Guard there, Iranian Republican Guard, is over the, what is the ethnic group that's there? What do they call them?
These are the Shias.
No. It's the ethnic group that was before Iran, before all the Muslims showed up. What am I missing the name? Not Palestinian. What the hell do they call them? I can't even think of the name. Somebody in chat come up with there. They are the ethnic group there before the Muslims showed up. They are
Palestinians.
No, it's the wrong one. Oh God, what is it called? Persians. Thank you, Persians.
B more 924 came.
Thank you. They're Persians. They're not Muslims or anything like that. So they're a lot more conservative, not as radical as the terrorist Muslims can get because they follow that book. So they took over the Persian country. And now they have the Shah and all those and, totally got rid of everything we saw in the 70s from those photos. So just things to pay attention to. But thank you for the input from chat. We greatly appreciate it. What else do we got? Oh, yeah, here. You can read that, Mr. Space Shot or Tron. I don't care. Either or.
Under the guise of guidance of POTUS, I'm pleased to announce the United States priorities and schedule for 2026 at G20.org finance track. Growth and economic security will be at the core of our streamlined, results-oriented approach to hosting these vital discussions. The selection of historic Asheville for our August meetings reflects the Trump administration's commitment to the revitalization and resilience of Western North Carolina, which continues to rebuild after the devastating impact of Hurricane Helene. Oof.
Yeah, so G20 organization, so going against G20, going against NATO, all those particular groups that they're talking about here, they're setting up their own independent away from the European Union and their control and their influence, and they're all panicking here at this point, at least for 3 or 4 years while Trump's in power and control. This thing will continue to be modeled that way and then forced out for everybody to take a big bite of the shit sandwich that's coming. Because we're not going back to the old ways because the old guard is falling apart. Right, Tron?
Yes, the destruction of the old guard happening right now.
Here's this one for you. How's Zelensky doing over here? Just really quick.
And I can definitely speak about it and etc. But I don't need to waste time on historic issues, reasons why he began, all this, I think, bullshit, what he's raising with Americans and etc. That it's not simple things about the Peter the First and etc. I don't need it, because for end this war and to go to diplomatic way, I don't need all this historical shit.
Yeah, he doesn't want to do history. I want my own history because we're going to write it ourselves. I just had to throw some of this international shit out there.
Crazy. I mean, he's talking about the lands, right? I mean, sorry, I don't.
Yes.
I think whatever Russia is up to now, I think that's what they got, and I don't think they're going to be giving it back.
What else do I got? You want to read a little bit about this? Did you hear about the Tucker Carlson detainer?
Oh yeah, I've heard a couple sides of it, of course, but they're basically saying Tucker Carlson was detained in Israel. Journalist dragged.
30 seconds.
Yeah, sure. Dragged into the interrogation room and beaten. No, it just says dragged into interrogation room as explosive interview sparks diplomatic firestorm. Ooh. Conservative podcast Titan. Carlson says he and his staff were detained in Israel on Wednesday following an interview with Mike Huckabee, Donald Trump's current ambassador to Israel. The former Fox host flew into Tel Aviv on Wednesday for a sit-down interview with Huckabee, who challenged Carlson to speak to him directly following an online spat about Israel's treatment of Christians. Carlson, who frequently criticizes Israel for military actions in Gaza and treatment of Christians, took Huckabee up on his offer. But as critics and pro-Israel activists began piling on Carlson for purportedly not leaving the airport during his brief visit, Carlson revealed that he was met with hostility in the Middle Eastern country. Carlson told the Daily Mail exclusively that shortly after the interview, Israeli officials confiscated his passport and hauled off his executive producer to an interrogation room. Quote, "Men who identify themselves as airport security, Mossad, took our passports, hauled our executive producer into a side room, and then demanded to know what we spoke to Ambassador Huckabee about, like as if they weren't recording the whole thing themselves." Carlson told the Daily Mail in the statement, "It was bizarre. We're now out of the country." And so the other flip side of that coin is Israel's statement came out and said, "Oh, no, there was no detaining. And, we just did an exit interview just like we do with any politician or, big name that comes over here. And they got to go through security and you might have to be pulled aside or whatever." So that's them. They were just saying, no, everybody that comes, we give them an exit interview. And apparently he left and did the interview there at the airport, never went into the country or never, did any vacationing. Yeah, he just did it.
You guys think he was having like Jamal Khashoggi flashbacks? Like imagine like that scenario where we have to go to war because Tucker Carlson is being held by Israel. Like that's the last thing I want to do.
I wouldn't have gotten to that. But they definitely didn't want him talking about the information that was going to come out or whatever. And they tried to influence Tucker Carlson to come into the country, do the Israel tour. And he's like, F that, and never left the airport.
He didn't kiss the wall. He didn't make love to that wall. And like,
nope. No pictures of him there.
And guys, that's the next scenario that we're up against. Israel for last. This freedom of speech and anti-Semitism is going to clash in the next 6 months. So that's the next one, guys. Be patient and be aware. That's yeah, for sure.
Ever since Charlie.
Yep. So let's check in with some of the other countries over here and some of the weird crap that they thought that's a very good idea. How's Canada doing?
We're also adding categories for candidates with work experience in transport occupations, including pilots, aircraft mechanics, and inspectors. We've identified these sectors as areas in critical need. Strengthening those helps us move goods across the country and to new markets, supporting trade, supply chains, and economic resilience. And finally, we are creating a new category for skilled military recruits to attract highly skilled foreign military applicants.
You guys heard her. Hold on.
Highly skilled foreign military applicants.
China.
To attract highly skilled foreign military applicants.
So yeah, they're gonna want to bring a whole bunch of other illegals in and take over some of the jobs there in Canada themselves. Screw all the people that actually live in Canada. And since we're worried about bringing military people in their country into the military itself because we don't know their allegiance, we'd rather go to China and other countries and have them come over and fund our military and bring those people in.
Dude, I don't know if you guys have done much traveling up to Canada, but I used to do Mississauga area, Hamilton, Toronto. I've gone to Montreal.
Wait, not mercenaries, Canadian military, because they're going to be illegal immigrants. Then they'll be legal immigrants, join the military, and you can stay in the country.
That's like the French Foreign Legion. You know, anybody can go knock on the door, essentially, right? But yeah, so I did a lot of traveling for work up there. I've never went over to the west side. Essentially, everything I've been in Canada was the east side. But there are an absolute crapload of Asian folks there and Indians as well. Dots, not feathers. And I mean an absolute shart-load of them. Like if you think certain areas around the United States have a lot, there is a lot of them up there.
Curry soup? Is that what you're saying?
My curry soup is it's not too spicy. You can try.
Mulligatawny, delicious.
What else do I got for you here? Might as well bring in this one here because you always get excited at parties, and we're gonna have a quick little funny. But
Wheezy, look away.
Oh, he's just so excited. Dude,
that ramen noodle.
He threw up on the president.
Oh, George Bush did that.
Dude was laughing in the red. What's the dude in the left?
It's called throw up. You have too much ramen noodle soup.
Yeah, he threw up on the Taiwan's president.
Oh, is that
the president
like once
in red?
a week over there, dude? They have bad refrigeration.
That was the president in red? Oh, dude, play it again. Just the very beginning. Just key in on him and watch him as it goes.
Oh, it hit him.
Look at he was laughing almost.
He got barf on him.
Oh.
All right. The other thing for our European Union, Tron, would you read this for everybody?
Boom. Wow. President Trump and Marco Rubio's State Department is creating a portal for people in places like the European Union to bypass censorship laws with the help of Elon Musk's Doge genius Big Balls, Edward Korstein, absolutely based. Freedom.gov is set to unfilter hate speech and others. And freedom is coming. This is like a VPN directly built in. And I'll tell you what, I didn't see this coming. Absolutely brilliant. Shout out EU. You guys have a way to connect and be informed.
I'll drop the link for everybody out there. So if you want to drop this to it, when it finally goes actually live, you'll be able to grab it and make comments and all those sort of things and hand it out to the international group. They're going to need it. What else do we got here? Oh, how's Obama doing? We're talking about local stuff here. Nothing Epstein related. How's he doing?
Yeah, we don't want, kangaroo courts and trumped up charges. That's what happens in other places that we used to scold for doing that. We want like our court system and our Justice Department and our prosecutors to be, and our FBI to be just playing things straight and looking at the facts and not meddling in politics the way we've seen lately.
Yeah, the way you did that, is that what you're saying? Don't do what I did?
So Barry, would you say you would like to do things by the book? Should I memorialize that in an email to myself, Susan Rice? I mean, dude, got to do it by the book, Hulk. It's got to be by the book. I mean, that's like one of those things. It's like, oh no, it's just reminding myself. No, it's like clearly you're setting yourself up. Oh, he told us to do it by the book. Yeah, that'll hold up in court.
Well, that's what Clapper said on CNN. We're just doing what Obama told us. Here, Mr. Tron, get your voice ready. I ran into this one right here.
Boom time from Paul Sperry. President Obama and his national security advisor, Susan Rice, were so distraught after Trump won in 2016, they literally broke down and cried in front of the White House staff, according to 1,100 hours of new audio and video compiled by Columbia University in cooperation with the Obama Foundation. After all they built, they feared their accomplishments were at risk of being torn down by a con man and a clown. Ergo, Trump had to be stopped. And there it is, guys. Boom time, baby. How about that? And we heard, what was it? Hillary, too. Hillary broke all these kinds of things in that room. She got all upset. Oh, man. Fantastic.
By nooses. I would love to have seen that. But think about that, right? If they are genuinely crying, so distraught that they broke out and cried, I mean, clearly that tells you they never thought she would lose, right?
Yeah, never thought she was going to lose. I like how you said that. Let's check in with the twins over here, see what they had to say for about 2 minutes over here on the Dan Bongino show. I don't know what we're going to get. Cold read. Let's go.
Everything's a level 10 decision, Cash. A level 10 meaning there's a pardon the language, but a shitty decision and a shittier one. Because if there was a good decision to be made, someone else made it. And then when those decisions, that's every day. I know you know this because I would knock on your door and you'd be like, what now? And I'd be like, here we go again. Like something else will come up. But I just want to put into perspective for folks out there, when that decision can't even be made by me, it goes to you. When it doesn't go to you, it goes like to the president's desk. He's dealing with like level 11 decisions. And that's the thing in DC. That's why the batting average isn't always going to be 1,000. There's no good call to be made or someone else would have made it. There's just really tough decisions where, there's a shit call and a shittier call. And listen, that's what we signed up for. That's how it rolls.
Look, yeah, these are difficult decisions, Dan. That's why you volunteered to jump back in. It wasn't just going to be, hey, we're going to do this job. It's going to be super easy. We're not going to have to make any hard decisions, and we're not going to have to combat a press corps that has largely been biased and full of inaccurate reporting. But we made those decisions collectively in the best interest of the nation. And if we hadn't, then none of this would be true. None of this would be possible. If President Trump had made the hard decisions to allow us and give us the resources that we need and to back the blue in law enforcement and to prioritize working with state and local authorities, then we wouldn't be able to do what we did. But you're right. We had a lot of hard decisions, and that comes with the territory of the job. But once you look outside of the cauldron of Washington, D.C., and this is one of the things that, I'm trying to remind myself of every day, outside of here, there is a different America than the one that lives in the national capital region. And I try to remind myself every day when making those difficult decisions that you talked about, that we make on a daily basis, that we are making a decision collectively for the rest of America, not just for the minority of people that are living part-time in Washington, D.C., pulling the levers on Capitol Hill and such.
Everything's a level.
So level 10 decisions, guys. What do you guys think about these two? Some people will call these two guys frauds. I'm not going to say any of that yet until we get later in this story. I mean, obviously, if we hear nothing happening in some of the stories we have been following, it'll be an issue. But I'm not going to be judgmental right now.
I mean, yeah, you guys got to remember that first and foremost, before 2024, these two gentlemen were patriots, and as of right now, I truly believe they are patriots. And again, this is all timetable. We don't have, I mean, look at what Barack Hussein Obama just said 10 minutes ago, the kangaroo courts. And again, that is the roadblock. We can't proceed with anything until the court system, the deep state swamp court system is flushed out of the bureaucratic empire. That is a huge roadblock. And again, December 18th of 2019, it must be done right. It must be done according to rule of law. It must carry weight. Guys, we can't run into double jeopardy. A lot of these scenarios, a lot of these narratives fall under the same predicate. So if one goes one way, that's how it's going to be for the rest. And again, big time precipice means RICO. We just got to stay patient. And again, timetable, Patriots are in control. And technically, guys, this third term, absolute miracle after Butler, Pennsylvania. So just hang tight and imagine what it's like for these guys. 8 years behind the scenes, writing books, doing all kinds of stuff. I can't wait to get them. And then you go in, it's like, holy cow. Just like Cash said, it's a different world. It's a simulation. Inside DC versus outside, 80, 20, 60, 40. We only get so much. And just hang tight, guys. These guys are patriots. I know the Charlie Kirk thing was all over the place. I know the Epstein video. This is how it went down. Just hang tight, guys. Nothing is as it seems what it is. But these guys are just like us back 8 years ago.
Clearly. And the only thing I think that was said very well, and the only thing I'll add is just a reminder to folks, and I'll tell you what one of my friends said, which is back in the day, remember, they were all going after Trump. They were doing all this stuff that Obama put in motion, as Hulk said, Clapper, Obama sent us to do it, me and Brennan, essentially, right? Who were the two people the only two people to step up and actually stand out and do something about it was Cash Patel and Devin Nunes. And so I said that to one of my friends the other day. They go, oh, well, was it Nunes and Cash, or, he had to help Nunes because he was a staffer? And I'm like, he could have just said, I don't want to help. I'm not going to get involved, which I know a bunch of other people did not do. But he helped Nunes write that Nunes memo, which, if everybody remembers, Schiff came out and had the Schiff memo, which was full of essentially lies, saying that they weren't spying on Trump illegally, they weren't doing this, that, and the other, and that whole thing is probably a crime in itself. So I'll just leave it at that, and I think, we'll see. Let's let the time kind of come out and see how things mature.
And remember, Crossfire Hurricane Binder, which they wrote with Devin Nunes, talking about how it all started, the beginning with Hillary and all those guys out there, was what they went looking for at Mar-a-Lago. And they didn't find it. So
exactly.
Any comments on anything we've covered so far? Because we're going to kind of change topic and get into some media things.
Well, just one question. You had said the twins, and I don't even know if they're twins, but I don't even know if you want to cover. You just say it. But did you hear what happened with one of the idiot Krasenstein boys yesterday? I love it.
No, I'll leave that alone.
You're gonna love this, dude. So talk about desperation, right? They are so desperate that one of the Krasenstein brothers put out a post essentially saying, I followed Trump for years. I've backed him on every turn. No, I know. But that's the thing, is he thought he was posting it on his whatever fake
you
burner
think it
account.
is, and then he could be faking it anyways and just to try to get clout. So screw those guys. I give them a zero.
He got busted. So what I'm saying is he got busted posting a pro-Trump thing saying that he was backing Trump, but now I'm leaving. But what I'm saying is they're panicked.
Yeah, I don't care about those guys. Anyways, let's get into what happened on the Colbert report, because everybody's saying Trump did it with the FCC and all that.
Now, here's the thing. I don't usually say this to a guest, but if people are watching this right now, it's because they found us online on YouTube. I did an act of the show that's on tonight explaining why. It's not the first time you've caused some drama. FCC opening probe into The View after appearance by Tallarico.
So what's basically happening here is this is the consolidation of voting districts in Texas, which involves this dude. I believe he's a Democrat. You got Crockett, which is basically going to lose her seat. So it's two Democrats versus a Republican in a Republican state, and they're pretty much saying the Republican's going to win. So he's out, and then Crockett's going to be out. So he wanted to do the interview with this guy to bring him in to see if they can get some clout behind this gentleman over here. And CBS says you could do the interview. It's absolutely okay with it, but due to the rules and everything we have to do, if you're going to spend 15 minutes with this dude talking online, we're going to have to give the other two candidates in the district the same treatment, all by law. So CBS says, go and do the interview, but you're not going to air it because we're not going to spend that time and spend all this money on doing stuff for the election that's coming up. So that's what came down. But the media played it that the FCC basically said, oh, you can't do this. You can't have this guy on there, blah, 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 is what it came down to.
I'll tell you what, bring on that Smith-Mundt Act. Again, going back to Barack Hussein and Obama, 2012, this is one of the many ways they control our media through the extension arm of the Democratic Party. And not coincidental that we do have that portal for Europeans and internationals to come in on a VPN. So you're seeing how we're, battling this digital grid at the helm right here. And again, FCC or not, where is that Charlie Kirk Act? Let's bring that back. And again, we can't let this media run rampant. What's her face on The View? Whoopi Goldberg, Patrick Ewing, again, completely falling on them. So this is brilliant. And again, the media, guys, the media is an extension arm of the Democratic Party, and TV, television, Hollywood to the downside. This is why we are winning.
So let's throw some Crockett in here really quick.
A number of times.
Oh, come on. Let's go back to the beginning.
I have done Colbert a number of times. If you paid attention, I've done Colbert a number of times. I've done The View a number of times. I've done Kimmel a number of times. I've done all these shows a number of times. We did receive information suggesting that the federal government did not shut down this segment. Number one. That is my understanding, that the federal government didn't shut this down, and we will do an official statement once we get another official statement that we anticipate is going to be coming from Paramount. All right, so we will read what they say, and then we'll go.
So she said, yeah, we got word, and we have to come out with the truth to make sure we're not getting sued, that it wasn't the federal government, and it was Paramount's company, CBS, that said, no, we're not giving them the airtime. Absolutely crazy. Might as well throw some Pippi Longstocking in here really quick.
CBS released a statement today saying, quote, the Late Show was not prohibited by CBS from broadcasting the interview with Rep. James Tallarico. CBS made the decision to bow to Trump's FCC and basically blocked Stephen Colbert from airing his interview with a Texas Democratic candidate. CBS pulled his interview on Stephen Colbert's show just before it was supposed to air. The reason that CBS pulled Colbert's interview with James Tallarico was because of a new kind of made up rule by Donald Trump's FCC chair, Brendan Carr. Brendan Carr's new rule would be designed to intimidate talk shows and late night comedy shows out of featuring political guests.
They could go ahead and move forward with the interview of James Tallarico. They just needed to offer me equal time. I did not get a request from the Colbert Show to go on.
CBS released a...
Oh, God, she had to come out and tell the truth. I just fucking find that absolutely funny.
Gotta be fair reporting on each side. You gotta give each side both fair time.
What else do we got over here? This was... Okay, so again, John Solomon is still, for the third week in a row, coming out with talking about Chelsea Gabbard, the election issues, how that's going to move the SAVE Act, and maybe get the Senate to move on there to start voting and get rid of the stupid filibuster for the zombie shit they're running in there and go back to where they actually have to talk and speak. So it's all kind of rolled into one that seems like Tulsi Gabbard's going to come in there and bring this information forward that she has. It'd be involving Georgia, stuff that was happening in Arizona, and the whole 2020 election here. So third week in a row, still hasn't happened, but he was still correct last Friday when Tulsi showed up over there and they started asking questions. I didn't hear anything about boxes or anything like that. Thoughts?
That's why Tulsi's there, shifty shift. But then again, he knew that because foreign election interference widens that scope.
So, yeah, he's still out there with the same stick. In case anybody's wondering, Rdoc is sick tonight. He will not be available, and he won't be available till next week because he's going to the doctor to get healthy, just as long as we're all on the same page. Oh, yeah. So here, the Chicago Bears have decided to leave because we're going to do sports here for a little bit because there's some interesting stuff that is happening in here. And they're going to move to Illinois. You said Tron is about half hour away?
Yeah, so they're going to move to apparently Indiana. So imagine that. Chicago Bears, 85 Bears, the Bears, Ditka, going over there 35 minutes from Soldier Fields down south over there to Indiana. And again, guys, Democrat areas, Democrat shithole sanctuary cities, Chicago, New York, LA, not looking good. And they were going to move it to a place called Arlington Heights, which is a suburb of Chicago, which was in an old racetrack, which probably would have done a lot better than that area. It's a complete mess to get there on the lake. Beautiful old school stadium. But again, Hammond, Indiana, which is nothing. If you've ever drove through Indiana, all you smell is like smokestacks and you have chemtrails everywhere. You got fish with 3 eyes in the water. Very, very strange. And I'm not sure if this is actually going to go through. But again, Chicago is not safe. It's not budgeted correctly. And shout out to Walter Payton. But there it is, guys. New stadium, Northwest Indiana. Only a half an hour from the original stadium. But again, it's not Chicago if it's not in Chicago.
Well, so what does he have to say?
Is my face straight? Okay. All right. Keep a straight face here. The Bears belong in the city of Chicago. The Chicago Bears belong in the city of Chicago, right? And I've said repeatedly that the door is always open for conversations, and Kevin Warren did call me yesterday. We didn't get a chance to connect, and I still firmly believe that their best position is in Chicago, and it's evidence. The evidence is.
Well, they only took one Super Bowl from there, right? If I remember, a long time ago.
2, one in 85 and one in 2000 and something. Devin Hester returning a touchdown kickoff for like the first time.
Great. The snot out of the Patriots in 85 was about as bad as the one this year was.
Yeah. Here, Tron, read that for everybody. Another sports story.
Crap, the Sonics' return to Seattle could be in jeopardy because of insane progressive taxes pushed by Washington Democrats. Ari Hoffman just obtained internal communications showing elite investors and pro athletes are spooked by crazy tax talk in this state. The data dump is extensive, but here are some more concerns expressed to Governor Bob Ferguson. Challenges posed by the millionaire's tax on recruiting top players, whether Seattle remains an attractive and investor-friendly environment, noting recent investor relocations to Florida without specifying names. Yeah, again, tax havens, guys. It's not affordable. It's not good for your business to be in these areas if you have money. So you got to get out. You got to move.
This is Indiana Speaker of the House, Todd Hudson said I'm going to commit $2 billion for this new stadium there, in case anybody's wondering where the location is and all that. So just to throw that out there.
Here, when the Chicago Bears are not in Chicago, then the world has changed officially. That's just bananas.
Here, Tron, here's another one for you.
All right, guys, just in boom time. The estate of Paul G. Allen today announced it has commenced a formal sale process for the Seattle Seahawks NFL franchise, consistent with Allen's directive to eventually sell his sports holdings and direct all estate proceeds to philanthropy. The estate has selected investment bank Allen and Company and law firm Latham and Watkins to lead the sale process, which is estimated to continue through the 2026 offseason. And they just won, right? So there you go.
Back to back, right?
That's the way to do it.
You're going to sell high? We're going to give it away to Thuramp. We're just going to give it away to charity.
Yeah, that's Washington. And again, these trusts, these philanthropies, these global initiatives, these humanitarian aids, how they save money, tax havens. Again, this is how they have to stay wealthy.
Exactly. So this is interesting because they probably write it all off for taxes anyways. Mm-hmm. I sold it for $2.5 billion. So let me write that off as a tax out here. Here, read that for everybody, Tron.
Washington House Dems vote to raid $4 billion from police, firefighter, pensions. That is absolutely horrible, guys. Digging into the pensions of our men and women in uniform there. But again, this is what they said for how many years?
Told you it was coming. So they're raiding the rainy day funds and all the stuff that they use for the unions because Washington State spent all that money on the illegal immigrants and the homeless and DEI and all that crap. So we're just going to we're going to take it from the pensioners is what they're deciding to do. So that's interesting. What else do we got for what?
Why don't they just take the money from the that fund where they, all the congressmen and women and senators and stuff pay off people sexual allegations, or did they use all that money paying off people?
It's probably used all up since Trump's home. Here, you can read that, Space Shot. Read that one.
Leave Delaware. Delaware Governor Matt Meyer just proposed hiking cigarette taxes by 71% to help close a $500 million budget gap. Small business owners say it'll crush sales, but here's the question nobody's asking. Why does Delaware suddenly have a $500 million hole to fill? Could it be related to 45-plus companies worth $2 trillion plus leaving the state since 2024? Just asking questions.
Just there. As long as we go stop by Mandami over here in New York.
What we'd rather do is ensure that they remain as they are so that the city can be on firm financial footing. However, in order to get to this point of closing the gap on both this fiscal year and the next fiscal year, we are forced to raid the rainy day fund, the retiree health benefits trust reserve, and to increase property taxes across these other years.
Yeah, they're just going to take the money. Flashing 5,000 NYPD jobs, 5.6 million for Office of Racial Equality, 4.6 for Commissioner on Radical Equality, 835,000 on Commissioner of Gender Equality, 260K on Education of Chief Diversity Officer, just a whole bunch of other crap. But yeah, we're going to pull the rest of the money from the other important stuff like policing. That's so crazy. That is absolutely crazy.
It's my keister on that.
Yeah, you get what you vote for, guys. And again, this is one of those situations where New York City kind of takes over when it comes to voting. Much more people there, of course, and again, bringing in those illegals, giving them a reason to vote for the Dems. And this is their last hope. We're seeing it in these last blue states that are going to turn purple, hopefully in 2028, once we clean it all out. But man, that is rough, dude. Mandami.
My question is, since the Democratic Party is so great and everybody talks so positive about it, how come some of these Democrats are not moving to Democratic cities? Like, you should be just filling New York and LA and all those with these crazy Democrats. There's plenty of room. The illegals are gone. Oh, they don't want to live there because it's a shithole. Oh, that's pretty much what it comes down to. Here, Tron, read that for everybody.
Virginia Governor Democrat Spanberger just lost Boeing's headquarters in Arlington, Virginia. Boeing announced on Wednesday that it will shift its defense, space, and security headquarters back to St. Louis after relocating to Chicago and then Arlington, Virginia in 2022. Companies are leaving Virginia. Yeah,
Remember, that's a Democratic-controlled state right now.
Yeah,
that's where Youngkin won a few years ago. What else do we got over here? Oh, yeah. The Colorado Governor, Jared Pohl, says he was not notified that Palantir had left his country or left Colorado to go to Florida. They just got the little tweet. Oh, it's not in this little thing. There was a little tweet that basically said that, we moved to Florida. And he's like, holy shit, nobody told me. So emergency phone calls and meetings need to be had by the government there to talk with the company, ask them why they're leaving.
They say, maybe release Tina Peters, and maybe we'll talk about having discussions of meetings about this stuff.
Another interesting thing about Colorado, if you've seen this video right there, remember that video on the right there, everybody?
This is the guy who does the fastest disarming guy because his friggin' stepfather was a psychopath that used to torture this dude. Essentially, he's like, and I wanted to make it so nobody could ever pull a gun on me ever again.
He's running for the governor of Colorado, if anybody's ever wondering. So yeah, awesome. We got ShamWow down in Texas. We got this guy over here,
Lindell, Minnesota, pillow guy.
Don't pull a gun on this
dude.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, here's a little quick little video.
Yeah, you don't want to mess around, dude. That guy's got it on. He'll take your watch at the same time, too.
How do you get the guy in the back's one? I don't understand that one.
Yeah,
I don't know that side of the hip.
We'll give a couple of minutes or seconds.
Is going to be against Polis, or is he termed out?
Polis is termed out. Believe it or not, it's between Michael Bennett or Phil Weiser. And both of them are terrified of me, and they should be. Bennett put me on the front cover of his campaign newsletter 2 weeks after I announced. And then Phil Weiser retweeted one of my tweets, which backfired on him. And these guys are so, they may have education, but it don't mean they're smart. And Bennett actually, he retweeted Phil's tweet of mine, and it backfired on them. So some folks asked me, they're like, Victor, are you worried they're coming at you? I said, worried, I'm going to send them a thank you note because they just introduced me to the entire constituency list. And let me tell you, the person who wins Colorado, which will be me, has to get the unaffiliated voter, which, there's
That's good enough. So, yeah, kind of get the idea where he's going. Yeah, let's see if he can pull it together. Here, you can give some list here of some of the places. Yeah, Palantir. We moved our headquarters from Miami to Florida. Other ones that are moving, big ones, In-N-Out, Hewlett-Packard, Oracle, Tesla, SpaceX, X and Twitter, Chevron, Realtors.com, Paul Mitchell, Charles Schwab, Palantir, Norton, and Symantec.
Symantec. Oh, just some nobody companies, no big deal. Not really much revenue there. Not much taxes going to the state that they're in. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Here, read that for everybody.
Hollywood legend Steven Spielberg becomes latest billionaire to ditch California ahead of proposed wealth tax. And I hear that they, and I think you may have even said that they chase you out of the state and try to collect even after you move out.
Yeah, one of the guys I follow on Twitter, he had been in Texas for 7 years. They sent him the letter that's saying, when did you move out? Did you use a U-Haul? Did you rent anything? We need hotel rooms. We need gas money or gas receipts that you were driving along. And then we need your rental agreement, purchase agreement, bank accounts, all those sort of things out there. And he's like, dude, that's 7 years ago. I don't even know if I have that shit.
You can kiss my ass at that point.
The other thing, Ford's battery plant that they decided to spend a crap load of money on for all the electric EVs that they didn't build, they shut down. I'm hearing talks that they might be doing power walls and batteries and adding into solar. So Ford's design of this plant is still available, and they could turn batteries into anything they want to. So that might be turning around and helping out domestic production if they can get a hold of lithium. So things to think about for that, even though they wrote like $5 billion down on we lost stuff. What else are we going to? Oh, the other thing is Maine is finally getting serious with all the Chinese over there growing all the weed. So there's more investigations and raids, and they're trying to really ask that the governor, Janet Miller, would be outraged or anything. They haven't come to that yet, but our government is over there doing raids and surveillance and FBI and all those sort of things. So we'll see if it turns out to anybody, because they need to start charging people, in my opinion, what's going on over here in Maine, because they don't have enough infrastructure to support this. Exactly, that too.
Rastafari. Yep.
Another thing I'm following over here is this smart guy over here basically took the Medicaid and used all 50 states using the 11 high priority codes normally used for the illegal immigrants, and then laid it out on a map and then put it into a heat map and going like, hey, I'm just trying this out. I'm fine tuning it here. And where's the most important spots that they need to get into? And you could see LA over here as they get to some of the more pink areas or whatnot, or being higher detailed areas where they're using certain codes and where the propensity for fraud is going to be. So I thought that this is interesting. This guy was able to put this thing together with just open source information. So federal government, if you need some help, come take a look.
There's definitely some smart anons out there, that's for sure.
So smart people out there as we keep going. Oh, this story, dude. I can't believe this is another thing happening in California. I'm amazed.
Rdoc, this is such a strange and intriguing story. As you said, the mayor of Arcadia linked to now a convicted Chinese spy. We tried to ask her some questions about the sentence, but she refused to answer. Arcadia Mayor Eileen Wang not taking questions about the sentencing of a convicted Chinese spy who she once referred to as her boyfriend and fiancé and who worked on her campaign. Can you just give us your reaction to the sentence? Mayor Wang has not been accused of any wrongdoing in connection with this case involving the Chinese spy that began to unfold several years ago. Tuesday's council meeting was the first since the now convicted spy, Yao Ying's son, who also went by Mike's son, was sentenced to 4 years in prison for his covert actions on behalf of the Chinese government. The feds say starting in 2020, Sun operated a pro-Chinese Communist Party news website for the Chinese American community. Sun was also directed by Chinese officials to boost the campaign of an unidentified Southern California politician. This is Wang talking about her relationship with Sun at a council meeting from December of 2022.
To my fiancé, Director Mike's son, who walks streets with me every single day, who is a...
So they're not going to punish her whatsoever. I mean, they're probably doing the Eric Fartwell type story. Don't worry about your boyfriend or girlfriend that's a Chinese spy. It's okay. We got you covered. Don't worry about that.
Dude, that's hilarious because I saw another video where she's going, "Oh, you people say he my fiance. Prove it. Prove it." I didn't know she said that right there. "Oh, my fiance, he walk with me every day." Whoops. Everything's, what is it? The internet's forever, right?
Exactly.
Manicure. Feinstein, too. Didn't Feinstein have a driving Miss China?
Yeah, Feinstein had her office manager, was a Chinese spy for 20 years. Fang was with Fartwell.
And especially when they have broken English. Like, how, like, I mean, even James O'Keefe can't, like, you know, get a Chinese, like, go in as a Chinese. I don't understand. I don't understand the Pootie Wang on this. I mean, what's the allure? Gross.
And never mind the fact of the whole thing that they did over in Oakland with the Chinese over there and stealing a bunch of money and people arrested. Mayor was arrested. Just crazy shit going over there for doing the same thing. Oakland's doing pretty good. So, yeah, they're out there. What else do we got here? Oh, yeah, Space Shot. Read that for everybody.
Breaking. Homeland Security announced the ICE arrest of a librarian. Why are they arresting librarians? Oh, a Liberian national, accused of working as a Minnesota corrections officer while allegedly being AWOL from the Pennsylvania National Guard and falsely posing as a U.S. citizen despite lacking legal status. They say the 45-year-old Morris Brown was identified during a major fraud investigation in Minnesota and also accused of marriage fraud and repeatedly making false statements to U.S. immigration officials. What the hell?
So nobody got it? Not the National Guard, Pennsylvania National Guard, nothing. Then correctional officer too? They gave him a gun. So I'm just saying these freaking Democrats are crazy. So yeah, that happened. As he's AWOL out there. Here's another incredible story. You can read this for everybody.
A federal judge declared a mistrial in the case of 9 defendants, allegedly Antifa members, that ambushed a Texas ICE facility and shooting an officer. What the hell? Oh my God. During jury selection, the judge noticed that defense attorney Marquita Clayton, with a capital Q there, was wearing a T-shirt featuring images of civil rights leaders Martin Luther King Jr. and Shirley Chisholm. Clothes with political messaging are barred from being worn by lawyers. Judge Mark Pittman said, quote, "I'm really surprised an attorney would do this." Wow.
So, yeah, that's one way to totally throw the whole case out there is have the lawyer on the defense side just screw it all up for everybody. So, yeah, they're going to have to start all over again.
I should charge that one. I don't even know.
Yeah, good
half
luck.
Of these ones, half boy, half girl. What the hell's going on here?
It's in Texas. We'll see if they get to it. Here, read this one for everybody.
Bayer has proposed a $7.25 billion class action settlement to resolve thousands of current and potential future U.S. lawsuits alleging that its Roundup weed killer caused non-Hodgkin's lymphoma and other cancers. This high stakes agreement, oh my God, Mike, aims to provide long-term financial certainty by spreading payments over up to 21 years in a dedicated fund, though it still requires court approval and depends on sufficient claimant participation without excessive opt-outs.
Okay, that's good. That's good right there. So we got that, right? Bayer had to pay, the Roundup thing, weed killer, the whole thing, Agent Orange, those things. So they paid, right? Now read this one, Space Shot.
Take aspirin. Everyone seems to be
President
Trump
right there.
Yeah, this is my brother texted me today. He goes, "What the hell?" President Trump has invoked the Defense Production Act to secure domestic production of elemental phosphorus and glyphosate-based herbicides. At first glance, that feels like a betrayal of everything MAHA stands for. RFK has spoken clearly about its health risks, and we all dream of chemical-free agriculture, but this was not a health endorsement. It was a national security decision. Elemental phosphorus is not just used in agriculture. It is essential for defense manufacturing, munitions, industrial processes, and fertilizers. The United States imports millions of kilograms every year. If that supply is disrupted by hostile nations, trade wars, or global instability, both military readiness and food production are hit at the same time. Food security is national security. Right now, whether we like it or not, American agriculture is built on chemical infrastructure. Glyphosate is embedded in that system. If it vanished overnight, crop yields would fall sharply, livestock feeds chains would destabilize, and food prices would spike dramatically. If the U.S. relies on foreign adversaries for critical materials like phosphorus, there is no leverage, no sovereignty, no safe path to transition. Securing domestic production does not mean endorsing long-term chemical dependency. It means ensuring stability while alternatives are developed and scaled responsibly. That's good. You cannot dismantle a 40-year agricultural infrastructure in one executive order without causing shockwaves. It does not mean that the current system is healthy. It means you do not detonate it before you have built the alternative. True.
So, okay, so court case here, payment out there, and now it's a national security risk. As long as we're all on the same page. Okay, on to the next one. Read this one for everybody, Mr. Space Shot.
MAGA win. Johnson & Johnson reveals plans to invest more than $1 billion in a state-of-the-art next-generation cell therapy manufacturing facility located in Montgomery County, Pennsylvania. New site will boost the company's U.S. production capabilities, supporting its robust portfolio and pipeline of groundbreaking treatments for cancer, immune-related conditions, and neurological disorders. The investment.
That's good. The other thing is they're also talking about that Johnson & Johnson vaccine updated with the mRNA technology out there that is a positive, is what they're saying, and none of that weird shit that they were doing before that could be possibly getting authorized. But it is based on the mRNA technology. Let's see if it makes it through its trials. That's if they pass all the trials and all that. And these guys are talking, they got super cancer cures and all that sort of shit. So if we get down in the pipeline, they could do it with AI. We'll find out here shortly. Yeah, this is the flu vaccine that they're talking about over here. Market is doing pretty good, pretty bad. I'm not sure where to put it, but I just wanted to bring to everybody's fact that the Federal Reserve $18 billion into the U.S. banking system this week through the overnight repos. That's the credit market they park all the debt on, and then they go pick it up. So everybody's going to the debt door and asking for money to flow, and they get the market back open the next day. So it's not big because I've seen this. I've seen the repo market up to like a 1.3 trillion. So 18 billion back into the market is okay. But it being perpetually built into, bring down inflation, all those sort of things, and it cost us money. Thoughts, Tron?
Yeah, no, this is, again, we were waiting for Federal Reserve to kind of end the Fed. We're waiting for our $5,000 Doge checks. We're waiting to check out the gold at Fort Knox. And if anything's going to happen, I mean, we have Eric Trump out there talking about $1 million Bitcoin. And something has to change. I mean, they're removing pennies from our circulation, even though pennies before 1982 are worth a nickel. And now we have, gold and silver slowly coming back up. But something has to give. And again, these AI companies are up and down, left and right. So we'll just see what happens. And again, stay confident in the energy sector as Boss is going into fusion technology and all sorts of weird stuff. But this is the moment to kind of move forward with any sort of fun stuff on the side of that kind of idea. I don't know.
A couple of notes to pay attention to. UPS has announced 22 closures of 22 packaging centers, eliminating 30,000 jobs as part of his restructuring jobs, following the 50 that they got rid of last year. So yeah, it's going to change for them because they're not picking up that Amazon or that U.S. Mail money anymore. So we'll see what happens. Here, Tron, read that for everybody.
Guys, U.S. is facing a major cattle shortage. U.S. cattle and calves inventory are down 85 million, the lowest price since 1951, according to USDA. The herd has shrunk by 45 million from the 1975 peak of around 130 million and around 10 million since 2020. As a result, beef and veal prices rose 15% year over year in January, marking one of the fastest increases in the food basket. By comparison, chicken prices rose just 1.1%, while milk prices were roughly unchanged at current herd levels. Even if ranchers begin expanding, the new supply would not reach grocery shelves until 2028 at the earliest. U.S. cattle crisis is driving beef inflation to unprecedented levels, and this is why we're reaching out to Brazil and other areas of the world. But again, take care of our farmers, get that local beef, and man, the 3D printing, Beyond Meat, all that stuff, we have to dodge that. And man, chicken prices, everything. But man, just try to get a New York, strip. It's not cheap, man.
No, not anymore. But again, this is what I talked about 6-7 months ago, that it takes a while to get the beef herd up and running, because you're talking 3 or 4 years. And under the Biden administration, they're calling them early at like 2.5 years, just shy of 3, just because they were doing the whole chicken flu and beef and having issues. So a lot of the farmers were like, dude, they're paying me more. I'm going to cut all this stuff up right now, which means they don't have those things to make new babies is the big problem. It takes a while to get that herd up and running. The United States needs 100,000 head of cattle and pigs to be slaughtered every day and 25 million chickens just to keep up.
Isn't that crazy, dude? Yeah. Hey, Hulky, do you want to do a Rumble wallet quickie? So
let me go take a quick look here. We're having so much fun going through. I got a couple more stuff in AI and aliens and all that. I have a Rumble wallet if you would like to do that one, sir.
Actually,
there
we go.
Clicking the button, hitting the thing.
Try. Hey.
Break for 30 seconds.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. They can freeze your accounts, shut off your cards, lock you out of your own money overnight. And we've seen this in the past. Banks don't protect you, they control you. That's why real financial freedom starts with ownership. Introducing Rumble Wallet, a non-custodial wallet built for people who refuse to give up control. With Rumble Wallet, you don't just buy digital currency like Bitcoin and Tether, you can own Tether Gold, real gold, on the blockchain. Through Tether Gold, you get direct ownership of physical gold bars, each one fully allocated, verifiable by serial number, purity, and weight. This is not paper gold. This is not an IOU. This is real gold without bank, vault, storage fees, or gatekeeper. You can buy, sell, or move it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even when traditional gold markets are closed. And if you want, Tether Gold can be redeemed for physical gold. That's power. And when you support creators on Rumble, you can tip them directly using Rumble Wallet, peer-to-peer and outside the banking system. No permissions, no middleman, no cancel button. This wallet is yours forever. Booms.
Break for 30 seconds.
Yay. All right, we got that one done.
And everything worked. I think it all came up on the screen and everything. Yeah, we just changed my input to RTMP Direct through Hulk's help earlier.
Yes, and tweaked some of his audio or some of his video and all those sort of things out there. What else do we got out here we want to get into? Oh, I just wanted to show this. Mass numbers of shanty homes and towns are now being appeared in Democratic areas, mostly California and stuff, but I just thought it was interesting to reference back to where it used to be. You guys got a truck with a big camper, or, these guys just building the stuff out of LA, out of the side of the freeway and stuff. I mean, some of the illegal immigrants from Mexico are building tunnels in the side of the beach and big, giant, lavish, concrete enclosures in the side of a dirt hill, dude.
And that's what happens when you have time. This is the golden age. Again, bring on the robots. Oh, no, our jobs. We're going to have time to build tunnels, houses. I mean, look at this.
Look, it shows 38 to 40 million legal immigrants in the U.S. According to the latest CIS data, 51% of legal immigrants in the household are on welfare. 10 to 20 million of illegal immigrants depend on American taxpayer in some way. And this is and they say nothing about the 11 to 13 million children in these immigrants. Remember, they were giving us some totals of like between 21 and 28 percent of the United States budget every year goes to illegal immigrants.
That's sickening.
And the other fucking weird fact is, you know how they do not the convalescent homes, the where the old people they start to die. Hospice care.
Oh, okay.
Number one hospice care city is Van Nuys, California, and they have 16% of the entire Medicaid budget just going to that city for hospice care. 16% of the entire Medicaid budget goes to one city.
A lot.
That's effing crazy because Dr. Oz was talking about that, and they're looking through that over there. Here, you can read this for everybody because I think it's worthy enough to finally talk about.
Just imagine when they start going through the fraud in that state, it's going to be bad. Let's see. Emerald Apple here says, Valve and Gabe Newell keep winning. They destroyed the prominent patent troll Lee Rothschild in a lawsuit that claimed they violated the Anti-Patent Troll Protection Act. Patent trolling is a horribly destructive practice that is purely an economic rent-seeking venture that is anti-innovation, anti-consumer, and anti-competition. It has been an anathema. I don't know. That's a word I've never seen. It's been an anathema in Western copyright and patent space, where these patent troll entities hold a vast number of patents only to sue companies that use technologies that vaguely align with the claimed, quote, invention. The vast majority of these inventions are very simple, pointing to technologies that are in common use, such as a, quote, system and method for storing broadcast content in a cloud-based computing environment. The specific patent in this case. The language of the invention is so broad that it's practically a joke, and yet they were successful in extracting money or licensing fees from those they threatened to sue. Valve is one of the first companies to fight against this, instead of paying the extortion fees, and won. I'm really hoping this is the beginning of the end for these rent-seeking, dishonest practices of patent trolling as a whole. Interesting.
He turned around and sued him for like $1.8 million in lawyer fees and all those sort of things. So I thought that was interesting there. What else we want to get into? Little comments about AI and things to pay attention to because it's been out long enough and people are using it in their company. And we just learned that IBM decided not to let go of most of their office staff and white collar workers there. Even though AI could do most of it over there, they decided that's not a good idea because we let them all go. Then we don't have any middle or higher end people to hire later in 10 or 15 years. So we should hold on to the younger workforce and make sure they're still here and then change around their jobs as the company mission changes, as what IBM is doing. And then I ran by this.
We, with our agents, hit $300 a day per agent using the Claude API, like instantly. And that was like doing maybe 10 or 20%. That's $100,000 a year per agent.
We're getting to a place where we have to basically now say, what is the token budget that we're willing to give our best devs? And then if you aggregate it across all people, you can clearly see a trend where you're like, well, hold on a second. Now they need to be at least 2x as productive as another employee. That is actively happening inside my business because otherwise I'll run out of money.
Yeah, this is a very interesting trend that you're not going to hear anybody else talk about. But when do tokens outpace the salary of the employee? Because you're about to hit it. I'm about to hit it.
So yeah, it's supposed to be cheap and inexpensive. It'd be really easily, but yeah, they're realizing it costs a lot of money with power inputs, computing power. And then how do you offset that with the human that you erased to do that job now? Now it has to be twice as better and monitored to make sure it's not making mistakes. They're spending $100,000 just for one agent a year, and they're using hundreds of these. So that's becoming a lot of expensive things to pay attention to. Comments?
Definitely. I mean, it's going to change so many things, and people have to kind of, I mean, crap, you think it was tough, like, going to high school when we were kids and worrying about, like, oh, what are we going to do in the future? Oh, well, I want to be this. Nope, AI is going to do that one. Oh, I'll do this then. Nope, AI is going to do that. I mean, it's going to be tough. It's going to change the world greatly, and I just kind of want to go back to, the 70s. be honest.
90s? I'll take the 90s. I think 90s were good here.
Bad fashion in the 90s.
Yeah, so if you didn't know, they already have 3,000 data centers operating nationwide with another 1,000 more because they're waiting on interconnect for power. Residents near the data centers seen like 50% more on their electric bills. Some of the guys I've seen in some of the areas are complaining about triple, like $1,500 bill, and he's the single guy at home and never there. So there's definite issues with the data centers there, and they're pushing some of the cost onto the taxpayer and individual, allow them to do it. So these are some of the things they're running into. Also want to remind you that the Trump administration just transported like 3 or 4 of their nuclear reactors that are 5 megawatts. It's like 5,000 homes over to Utah that they're going to have fired up by 4th of July to help out with some of this on a new company that's mass producing these. And we have, I think, 20 or 30 companies that are mass producing these low miniature reactors out there that are really technically non-nuclear, but they are radioactive.
Didn't he say too, or I think we covered this, but didn't he say something like these data centers are essentially going to need to start making their own power because we can't have what we're looking at about to happen here, right? And I got
that's why they're doing the mass produce for these nuclear sites or these miniature reactors, and they're they planning sites for with 100 of them in one location.
All right, Hulk, this is a question from the chat regarding AI capabilities. Can AI wash? Starface EW asked, can AI wash dishes and do laundry?
With the Elon Musk robots and stuff like that, they're going to be mining in the ground, in my opinion. I kind of like, what's the one guy's name? I can't remember his name off the top of my head. He's all, dude, if Elon's going to make these robots or whatever, and they can pull minerals out of the ground like gold and diamonds and all those sort of things, they're not going to be flipping burgers. They're going to be into the ground pulling resources or doing something very technical like doing the brain scan and surgeries and doctors type of stuff because they're that proficient at doing those types of things. So yeah, I think those are where the jobs are going to land first on those things that are going to produce the best wealth for this. Because Elon himself said, I can replace one robot for two $25 an hour employees, and you can lease them. You don't technically have to own them. So it's going to get pretty cheap pretty quickly. But then he comes back to that whole thought process is, oh, don't worry about retirement. You're going to have abundance. And I'm not sure exactly what that monitored abundance is going to be. Whose level of wealth are we going to consider?
He's a multi-billionaire, and he says abundance, so hopefully it'll be good. But yeah, I mean, and just really quickly, we've seen they didn't have much range of motion, but you've seen even 6 months ago, like a robot picking up a unboiled egg and picking it up and placing it down. So I think had you wanted it to do laundry and dishes, I don't think that would be a difficult task for one of those machines, and especially give it another year or two, like easy work.
Skynet and the T-800, dude, they're coming. Arnold Schwarzenegger, we've seen the movie, the foretelling us. Also, it come out here, just to go through some of these stories so we don't eat up too much time here. Ring CEO basically says it's not a good idea to expand the search party thing beyond locating lost dogs because they were going to partner with the flock cameras. And we were all asking, how did the hell did Kash Patel go ahead and get a ring camera footage from the residents down there in Arizona from the kidnapping when there was no assigned count to it and no Wi-Fi signed into it? How did you get that from the house itself?
Right? And at the same time, they have the commercial during the Super Bowl where everyone's Ring cameras comes alive to save the dog. And this is, talk about the Alexa, talk about this and that. This is intrusion. This is not good. This is, Big Brother. And perfect timing, too, with this missing grandma at the same time with the search party. This is, again, you're worried about Palantir. It starts right here. So remove them all.
Exactly. So they've canceled the flock agreement here, so they're not including that into that searchable data to find that lost dog. But, the NSA and the FBI and CIA will still have it. Consumer electronic manufacturers will go bankrupt or exit product lines in the end of 2026 due to the AI memory crisis, they're saying. So basically, buy any of the storage, anything you need now, because AI is going to suck this up. And a lot of the people who are produce spinny hard drives, the old school stuff, have signed long-term agreements with these guys. They're like, if you want any of this stuff, you have to sign 3 years. We want cash up front. None of this, oh, you're going to pay a little bit. You pay all of it up front. We want all $25 billion now. And then we will say, we'll give you a 3-year guarantee for a line of hard drives. That's the way a lot of these manufacturers are going. So until the bubble breaks and Peter Thiel stops buying 40% of the DRAM chips out there and shipping them to a warehouse and making them as drink coasters, there's not a whole lot we're going to do about it right now. That's what he's doing, basically, if you want to put that in perspective. Here, Tron, this one's for you. Where do we want to start?
This guy right there with Boss's tweet there, or truth right there, guys. Coming in from Boss, and this comes after Barack Hussein Obama was asked a question on a podcast, if aliens are real. And then a few days later, DJT comes out, based on the tremendous interest shown, I will be directing the Secretary of War. Now, Secretary of War, guys, again, is it our aircraft? Is it other UFO? Like, is it alien life? Again, Secretary of War and other relevant departments and agencies to begin the process of identifying and releasing government files related to alien and extraterrestrial life, unidentified aerial phenomenon, UAPs, and unidentified flying objects known as UFOs. Shout out to Agent Mueller and Scully back in the day, and any... are we alone? Okay, let's just fast forward. Guys, drop two.
Oh, I thought you got to the bottom of it. Sorry.
No, I was just ad-libbing. I was just throwing in my own mix in there, but that's okay. Guys, and Anon says on September 19th of 2018, Q, are we alone? Roswell? And Q comes back, no, highest classification, consider the vastness of space, Q. And that was during the time of Q&A, where random Anons on the boards would drop questions and Q Team would actually randomly pick them or not randomly pick them. But here we are in 2026, finding out is it angels and demons or is it UFOs and little alien creatures with Reese's Pieces in their pockets? But again, guys, find the grandma first, and then let's go on to the UFOs. Flight of the Navigator first. Yeah, find the grandma first. Grandma got hit by a reindeer, and let's go down to Flight of the Navigator.
The great movie. Great movie, way ahead of the time. If you're thinking about it, if you're a movie that was foretelling you something that you didn't realize, that's all I'm saying. Here, we're going to put this all into one. I ran by this video again. I'm going to play it again, and I keep thinking about this when they tell us what would put 90% of the people in the hospital if you told them the truth. And I keep thinking about this video.
Right. You got to give me a reason. Otherwise, I'm going to light a match and burn the whole house down. You got to tell me why this is something that isn't something we should report on. Like if we get, some sort of definitive knowledge in some way, man, I don't know. I'm being honest right now. I'd light it up.
What if it turns out that aliens made us, that space aliens have been manipulating our DNA, that we are a lab experiment? What if it turns out that interdimensional beings are like Santa Claus? They know when you've been bad or good. They know when you're sleeping. They watch you in the shower, when you're in bed, at your most private moments, sitting on the toilet, that they're always among us, that they can come in and out of our world, that they control our world on a mass scale, and there's nothing we can do about it. Are people ready to handle that?
No, I think most people would freak the F out, be honest with you.
I completely disagree. I actually think that no one would actually care. I mean, this isn't like 1938 Orson Welles going back to the War of the Worlds broadcast. I mean, we've been preconditioned since, E.T. to, joke about that. So bring on the aliens. Now where it's going to get interesting is again, Anna Paulina Luna and a handful of others have dripped the idea of angels and demons. And now that's where we're getting deep. That's where religion comes in. That's where we might get that Project Bluebeam over Brazil or Gaza or something interesting. But this is much needed. Let's bring it. And if you really want to pay attention, look at the UFO community to see how they react, because they've been in this for 20, 30, 40 years. And even during that Q&A back in the day, that was that entry for all those light workers to come in and all those orgone, copper, and you got to do this. And they came in, and that was that bridge that was non-political. So that was, and again, going back to Ivanka's looking glass, time travel, Nikola Tesla, the Tesla files, John G. Trump, MIT, radar, all that fun stuff is all coming together at the head. So if anyone's going to have any sort of, disclosure, DJT is the way to go. And prior to the election of in November, he was on Rogan talking about this, as well as JD Vance. So again, let's go science fiction. Hollywood's down. Let's bring a little bit of truth out. This is fun.
Yeah, I got some more to show for you guys here. I'm just dropping that one leak out there for everybody. It starts here. So
he's about to make an announcement about UFOs because President Obama was just on a podcast talking about how he
actually, we should play that one right now. Hold on. That's right here. Puts it all in one big lump sum right here.
He surprised a lot of people by accusing former President Barack Obama of revealing
look at the press secretary's face in the background over Trump's right shoulder.
Classified information following his comments about the existence of extraterrestrial life. White House correspondent Aisha Hasni starts us off tonight live from the North Lawn. The president is accusing former President Barack Obama of revealing classified information when he told a podcaster aliens are real. Here's that Obama comment, and then President Trump responding to Peter Doocy today.
Are aliens real?
They're real, but I haven't seen them, and they're not being kept in what is it?
Area 51.
Area 51. There's no underground facility, unless there's this enormous conspiracy, and they hid it from the President of the United States.
Well, he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that. You know?
So aliens are real?
Well, I don't know if they're real or not. I can tell you he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that. Well, he made a big mistake. He took it out of classified information. No, I don't have an opinion on it. I never talk about it. A lot of people do. A lot of people believe it. Do you believe it, Peter?
Well, the president can declassify anything that he wants to, so if you want to make an announcement.
I may get him out of trouble by declassifying.
I might get him out of trouble by declassifying, was the interesting comment that had come out of that. I find that very interesting. I still got more.
The hell?
So, yeah, let's go press secretary. Ash Wednesday.
Post that the president has a prepared speech on this issue that he prepares to deliver at the right time. Is that true? And does the Trump administration believe aliens are real?
Well, a speech on aliens would be news to me. That sounds very exciting, though. I'll have to check in with our speech writing team. And that would be of great interest to me personally, and I'm sure all of you in this room, and apparently
Laura Trump the other day said that Trump already has a speech prepared for it and had made comments about it. And remember, he was on Logan Paul a while ago or whatever, and he does say, I have access to it. And, those contexts is that he's seen a lot of the stuff that's there. I'm not saying it's Tesla tech or anything like that, but he's seen behind the curtain, and I think he's going to start wanting to release a lot of that stuff coming out. So just wanted to throw that out there. And then might as well do a funny with it, right? Might as well make it funny.
You got punched in the face by the Fresh Prince.
Oops. Wait, hold on.
You got punched in the face by the Fresh Prince.
Tonight, history was made on the White House lawn as humanity made first contact with extraterrestrial life.
His name is Zorg. He is an extra cholesterol.
President sat down for what was meant to be a historic, peaceful exchange, but quickly realized
he's here just to fuck with me. Who sent you, Putin? China? I saw the documentary, Independence Day.
destroy it! Zorg the alien caused a chaos of destruction before sabotaging the president's teleprompter.
America's so shit. The shittest. Zigzags, Pineapple Moon, Zorg is life, Earth sucks.
He is currently missing.
This is why RAM costs so much.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because the AI is out there. It was funny, though. Oh, that would be so great, dude. I mean, seriously, if we find
they walk
out.
amongst us, they look like us, just like the movie They Live. Roddy Piper had it right the first time.
All right, so we're going to all get a quick doom and gloom version of what we just heard. So we'll do this side as the last part.
We can't capture it.
We can't attack it. We can't do anything about it. It has total dominion over our skies if it wants to. It shows up when it wants to, when it wants to. We can't predetermine this. We cannot control them. There's nothing, we have no power over them, right?
Right.
Demonstrably, we have no power over them, which means we have no sovereignty, which is a major problem for the U.S. government. Disclosure is a problem for them because they would have to come out and say, sorry, guys, we don't control the skies.
Right.
They do. In fact, they probably control the oceans. In fact, we're not so sure about underground either, right? We control like about this much here.
Very thin layer.
And only if they don't show up and bomb us for some reason, right? Or land on our thin layer and abduct our citizens or something. So there's no possibility of an agreement with them, number one. So they cannot protect us on a legal basis for sure, but they also on a technological basis cannot defend us. We don't know where they come from. We can't invade their territory.
Right.
All ideas of warfare go out the window.
Yeah, we have no map of where they operate.
No.
You saw Independence Day, right? Will Smith in that movie? Yeah.
Yeah, they had to go down to that underground bunker and look at all those creatures and whatnot. But at the end of the day, guys, aliens or not, this is mostly probably going to be just war technology, you know, the TR-3Bs, anti-gravitics, all that fun stuff. Bring it on, give us the tech, and bring back the Concorde.
Yeah, exactly. What else do we got out here?
Yeah, I mean, travel right now is so pedestrian. Come on now. It's 2026, not 1955.
What else do I got here is the very last little bit here.
Stephen Miller's Israeli shill. Oh, no.
Wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, Putin's was writing Q posts. Yeah, who knows? I thought this was interesting. Dr. Oz, just a little bit as we get to the last couple of potpourri pieces that I had in here. It says, I sent a letter to our good friend Gavin Newsom with literally $1 in $10 spent in the entire country on home health care is in LA. Not California, in LA. 1 in 10. That's a huge number.
Yeah, when's that earthquake going to kick off so we can have that island of
dude,
California?
I'm here. I'm here. Dude, I can't do that.
No.
It's just on the other side of Disneyland. Take that whole thing after that. Right. Let's get rid of Hollywood, LA, all them. We'll keep everything south of Disneyland, in my opinion. Should I do a funny? I ran by funny comedian
the
here.
answer is always yes.
Okay. Killed Tony clip, the first time ever on Table of Time since Rdoc's not here. I'm throwing in some funny stuff that I thought was pretty relevant about what's going in society. And obviously our comedians, the ones that bring humor and entertainment and knowledge. And most people remember it there. So that was great, dude.
That's
He had
awesome.
some pretty good little points in there, in my opinion. It's about time a Karen got shot. Yeah, now they're all looking because I don't see very many videos of them doing stupid shit anymore. How about you guys?
Yeah, no, you F around, you find out, and it's great to see comedy come back. Again, this is that Austin circuit. That's the Joe Rogan circuit. So making comedy great again, which we're going to do tomorrow night on my channel over here on Rumble. But that is hilarious. Shout out to Truth. I mean, come on, not the shot part, but just common sense. I mean, they've been after white liberal women since the beginning. That's their target. And that's unfortunate, but that's fine.
Do I have anything else? No, we won't be playing that. I think that's about it, unless you guys got some other stuff you guys want to cover or anything like that. Did want to point this out as a good thing over there. The presiding judges of the FISA courts just appointed Jennifer Draskell to advise the secretive court. She helped create the Biden admin disinformation governance board. So yeah, she's on the FISA court now, guys. Yay.
Interesting. Well, and just to piggyback off of Tron, not to like bring another topic. So I just basically, Rep Tim Kennedy, we're still seeing this old gag, 2 American citizens were shot dead by federal agents and blah, blah, blah. I said, I'll take 2 people who should have not stalked federal law enforcement, and had they not done so, would still be alive for 1,000, Alex. And that's what it is, right? If those 2 idiots never left their house, and let's be honest, we don't even know what really went on that day because they were freaking hat tipped from Boss ahead of time on those. Like he was talking about I forget what city, Portland and 34 or whatever, Portland, and oh wow, that shooting happened on 34th and Portland or whatever the hell it was. Literally exactly what Trump said 2 days before or a day before. So again, don't know if that's a scripted thing, but if it did happen and they never went out stalking these people, they would be alive as a result. Pretty clear.
I mean, I think it's been a pretty crazy week. We didn't get into the full-on international stuff because Rdoc wasn't here. Touched upon it a little bit, but there's some interesting things that are happening. I think the Board of Peace is a big chunk of it, and moving without Israel is another positive point also. And then also domestic manufacturing, the amount of money that's coming back. And then we're also hearing Russia wants to enter back into the market and bring trillions of dollars of investment. If we can get there, that might be interesting, but we still got to get rid of cokehead of Ukraine out the door. Once we get done with him, which I'm surprised they're still allowing that thing to dance around with the EU and trying to support him, and we're going to go to war. And that's basically falling on deaf ears. They have no money, and Trump's like, screw NATO and UN, I'm going to make my own thing. So you guys can come join it if you want to.
Yeah, and Hulk, I can certainly notice the difference of the visuals on my side. It's definitely a little more crisp. So thank you for that. And yeah, it's going to get wild out there, guys. Don't expect that. It's just going to kind of like poof away. I think they're going to have a lot more of these things before, and we need those arguments as much as it's like pulling your hair out to argue with these people on the other side. Like the real people within the bots that are in there need to be shown the right way. And so these arguments technically need to happen, but just don't waste all your time, because you may be responding to a bot.
Exactly. And I'm not a Russian bot, just like the rest of you guys out there. So we do appreciate it. We'd Pete Bob. Make sure you're leaving comments in the video, in the live stream, comments down below in the replay, and make sure you smash the thumbs up button. If the Space Shot crew come over and hit some thumbs up on both sides, that'd be greatly appreciated. Go hit Tron at the same time and still have Twitter going out there. So like the show out there also.
Well, let's get Hulk and Neighbors live here. Folks here. Go over here and click them a thumbs up. Say hello.
I did go make a public comment over here because I'm a fan of Star Trek. But today I don't watch any of the new stuff that had come out there.
I've never seen one episode of Star Trek.
So you're here. Star Trek just got its first gay Klingon.
Gross.
So they have a gay Klingon now.
Why is he black? Oh, well, we know why. Okay.
Yeah, so then I put down there, he goes, stop making everything so gay and retarded. Thank you for your attention to this matter. And wrote that, why are you gay? So
hopefully they put that early on in the season. Like I tried to watch the remake of Quantum Leap, and within the first 10 minutes they had a Fanoik in there, and right away, click off, turn off, boom time. That was quick. A Fanoik, yeah. A Fanook in the first 10 minutes, they were making love, these two homosexuals, and I wasn't down for that. So 10 minutes, though, that was great. Give it to me in the first 10 minutes. Let me know where we're at, and then we'll move on from there.
Yeah, I did like Picard for a little bit, ran a couple of seasons of that. If you ever got into the Next Generation, it was actually pretty good. Pretty interesting things they talk about an AI war that took down the couple of the factions, and now they have laws against it, and they don't use AI. Just really interesting shit. I was like, wow, never thought of it like that. Anything else we should cover, throw out? Should we go do thank yous?
Yeah, well, I would just say too, I had some people basically were asking the other day about the shooting in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, and yes, it was a transsexual man, and the worst part is he ended up shooting his wife and kid apparently, and he had 6 kids. So this dude had 6 kids and apparently decided, hey, I want to start dressing like a woman, and that's
he went farther than that. No, the wife divorced him, and in the court records it shows that mutilation of his body and shit because he cut his wiener off. He was wearing a dress and all those sort of things.
What you call mutilation, I call a nip tuck.
Yeah. And we won a bunch of gold Olympics too.
He did?
We did. We did. We won a bunch of gold at the Olympics.
He won gold in the latest curling event, Space Shot. He was on the news. No.
I actually that's like one thing I'll actually watch.
Yeah, I like it too. That's fun.
Like, why are they brushing this thing? Okay, that's cool. Done
well,
that for sure.
I think we dragged it on long enough, guys, right? Tron, what are you doing for tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night, yes. Tomorrow night we have Friday Funnies, Making Funnies Great Again. And if you like that Shane Gillis, that Hinchcliffe comedy stuff, we got that tomorrow night. We have a wheel, so you got to drop a link in the chat. We spin a wheel and we laugh, and it might not be a funny. If you drop one of those Norm McDonald's again, you might get a gong. The next day, Saturday night, we have Keeping It Wheel, the music show. You guys like music from 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and that's about it right there. Saturday night is the place to be. And then Sunday morning, the Great Awakening morning show, me and Leonidas bringing the bread to the table. And always a pleasure, guys. Always a great time, whether it's Friday night, Saturday night, Thursday night. I do take Monday night off, rocking and rolling as always. Thank you guys so much for joining us on Thursdays, and thank you for 8+ years. I saw Gold Star Mom in the chat earlier, reminding us of our 8-year anniversary on February 13th, going back in the Discord days. So shout out Gold Star Mom and all the OG anons that still follow us. Much love to each and every one of you. Thank you, Q the Hammer, for dropping a gifted sub. Thank you so much, guys. We don't have Media Matters money. We don't have that George Soros money train coming in. So greatly appreciated for everything out there, Patriots. So thank you so much. We'll see you next time. And keep on digging, keep on praying, and keep on memeing, Patriots. Much love, Midnight Riders. We'll see you next time. Thank you, Space Shot and Hulk, for a great show. And prayers out for Doc for a fast recovery, whatever he has. It's probably some European flu or something new.
Exactly.
Right?
And yeah, exactly. He'll get healthy here in a little bit. And Space Shot, we should fire our producer because I think we are paying him way too much money.
Oh God, for sure. Hulk, I'm adding actually that pinned comment thing right now. Should I change the width on that or keep it what they keep it?
You want to do it too? Always the distance of your desktop. It should be proportioned. We'll do that later. Do your thank yous. We'll play tech support later.
I wanted to pin a very nice thing. There we go. So thank you. I popped that on there. So thank you, Superplate. Dropped the $10 Rumble rant. So they just found you guys again tonight since like 2020. Since like 2020 says, comma, sorry, I forgot. Well, I'll read it again.
On YouTube?
I just found you guys again tonight, comma, since like 2020, comma, sorry, I forgot. I appreciate you coming back in, brother. That's hilarious.
From where?
Though.
Where was that from?
That's from Rumble. Superplate on the chat. Appreciate that, brother.
Yeah, make sure you go follow all the channels here, me, Tron, or Space Shot. Go back through all the channels. Make sure you follow each other.
And Bing. Okay, so that's cool. I just finally worked it, and it doesn't work the same way as pinning it does on the other way. So okay, we'll get through that things. But yeah, thank you guys all for hanging out with us on these Thursdays. Welcome in any new names out there. We're glad to have you guys checking out the show. We've been doing this for about 8 years or so, and looks like the stuff is finally starting to pay off as far as things that we're wanting to see, right? And ex-Prince Andrew arrested on his birthday. Like, talk about insult to injury, right? And I didn't even look that up. Tron, did you end up looking up Post 66 to see if there's anything in there? But never know.
No.
But always want to thank the mods who help us very selflessly.
I got to do some thank yous.
Yeah, and many others out there as well. So we do appreciate their help. And always got to give a big hat tip to Country and the folks over there. They're on Pilled and Rumble at Liberty Based News. They are formerly the Patriot News crew over there. And I want to thank Big Hair Tsunami, Liz G, and Rdoc in the house. I don't see any timers going over there on D Live today. It's 12:10, and we're rock and rolling out the door. So appreciate you guys out there. Ooh, look, and I can actually put a diamond in there today. There you go, guys. Submitting a whole diamond because they let me, maybe, and releasing those rewards. So thank you guys for hanging out with us over here. And I think that's good for now, Mr. Hulkinator, for me.
Yeah, I would like to say thank yous for over there on the Pilled side for Jugnani. Gifted the shades. We got Carly with the fleet. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. You get one of those. Q shook me all night long with the can. One Thunder with another can. Sean Joe throwing 3 cookies in a row with Good Dog 45 with a can to the head. We got Sean Joe with another double cookie out there, and a third behind there. He's got a stuttering problem. We really appreciate you pressing the button out there. Good Dog 45, the can, and then Tanette Booth said phone home with the phone out there. So we appreciate everybody. I'm going to go ahead and hit the scratch off buttons for everybody out there. So it should be firing off pretty shortly. And Space Shot always says,
oh, yeah. Got to say, check me out tomorrow at noon. I'm actually going to have my buddy Ghost on, and he's going to bring his buddy that we were talking about last week, and he will actually be here today to jump in with us. So noon tomorrow, and we do appreciate each and every last one of you wonderful world patriots out there for tuning in. And until that next one, thumbs up, like, and subscribe. Peace.
Much love. Be good humans.